Nash, Puka, hello, hello. Okay, so today, you guys already know what today is. It is our replay review day. You also know that it's chair stream day because I'm about to be right back. All right, I'm back. So yeah, if you guys don't know what today is, we do replay reviews today. Hey Lauren, how you doing? If you like your replay review done, go ahead and hop into my Discord. Put your replay code in the chat there, or in the free replay reviews chat in the free reviews Marvel Rivals tab. And we do these every Saturday. If you guys like more personal one-on-one coaching or something more in-depth, then I do have those options below in the description as well. So check that out if that's something you're into. So let's go ahead and kick it off and start with the first one. All right, so this is one. This is one from our dear old friend Nash. Hold on, give me a second. Our dear old friend Nash. Gotta pull up the window. This is a longer one, so I like to show you guys so you guys can read along. But if it's short, I don't really show it. Puka became a member? What? Out of all the people. You know you're doing something right if Puka becomes a member of your content, bro. That's how I know I'm peak. Dude, Puka graced us. I'm peak. I've reached the highest honor level ever. Thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome. You've been a part of it before. How many months is this for you? This is your... I'm sure there's an easy way for me to tell. Is there an easy way for you to tell? Because I wish there was an easy way for me to tell, but there's not. But when you do it, do you know how many months it's been? Or what month you're on? Okay. You're not sure? Valid. All right, Nash, time to call you out, buddy. I'm loading shaders, or they're not finished loading. And I don't even know why it's not finished loading. So, you know, don't get mad. Cato, what's up? Colado, what's up? We're at in the Discord. If you... Wait, huh? Maybe not the Discord. Replay section? What replay section? If you mean to put the reviews, if you go to our Discord and then at the top, there'll be... It's actually right under my live stream announcements, if that's what you're asking. I'm not sure. You worded that weird, Colado. You trying to trip me up? Colado always trying to make me look like a fool on stream. Just do me like that. All right, let me pull up our buddy Nash. You meant in game? Okay. You see, I told you, Colado always trying to treat me like a fool, make me look like a fool. In game, you go to. If you want to look at your own replays, you go to your history. But if you want to find someone's replay and type it in, you go to favorites, and it'll be there. All right, so here's what Nash says. Nash says, I went cap to off tank and dice to support the magic. Oh, and dive to support the magic. I was focusing on cycling out more often and not dropping my HP too low. I'm still learning to get a feel for the dive cycles. When you guys watch my cap, is there really cycles? I'm all over the place. I know I don't have to stall or I know I don't have stall or jump mechanics figured out yet. Not enough playtime, and I know my ults this match weren't the best. Mostly, I just want to have a dive option I enjoy and make sure I'm not throwing when I pick them. Well, I'm glad that you're enjoying cap. That makes one of us. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's see. As I said, my shaders are not done loading, so we might have a little turbulence. But you know what? It just means we have more time to hang out and chat. So, you know, it seems like the match already started. If it's too bad, I'll just pop in my PlayStation. I didn't realize that we had to even load shaders, but we did have a little small patch. And I don't think shaders load when you are inside of a replay. Can anyone on PC confirm or deny? I don't see it, so I'm going to assume that you don't. But doesn't it load when you play? So I don't really know what's the difference. All right. Let's see where we at. So I already don't like this. Okay, Nash. You're thinking too much like the tanks that you usually play. When you're playing cap, you never want to come from straight forward. You want to come from a lot of different angles. This goes for any dive character. I know you might even see Lauren do this, but Lauren she likes to bully people, so she wants to look scary. But realistically, when you're playing a character that's a melee, you don't ever really want to run straight at them because you're a melee character. You get shot on the way. So you want to be up here. You want to be, I mean, this is kind of sketch if you're here or here. But basically, you want to be somewhere where you can close the distance without being shot. The goal is, how can I get to from point A to point B without taking damage? Because you're going to take damage when you get there, so you might as well make sure that you reduce as much damage as possible. You also want to try to avoid using cooldowns because you're going to need them to get out or fight. So you already lost a little bit of HP going in. You already lost a cooldown going in. You're already half of a character that you were before, basically. And you got to be careful with that. And it goes for every single dive character. Even characters like Thor and Rogue and stuff like that. You can't just be running in, getting shot and poked. It's going to make it so that you're less effective in the overall thing. And of course, you know, you're not in your usual rank yet, so you're not punished as hard. But if you do want to play him in those ranks, they're going to be able to shoot you a lot easier, and you're going to take more damage, and it's going to be more, you're going to get CC'd a lot, and you can't have that. So you got to be a little bit more careful about that. See my case? You only had one ability here, and you didn't really do anything because you said, well, I have one ability. I don't want to waste another ability while I'm fighting because I don't have a good ability to get out, which is not wrong, but you could see kind of how you are less effective. So now you're circling around, going for the back. Okay. Here's a little tip that I learned with cap, and I still don't do it. But if you know that you're going to for sure get a KO, because that rocket was free low. If you know for sure that you're going to get a KO, hold your shield to execute. Because most of the time, a lot of characters will try to run away from you or dash or whatever. Hold the shield to finish the KO off. If you throw the shield first, you're going to get them low, and you're not going to be able to finish them. You didn't really go for the KO here, but be very careful about that. Because if you weren't going to go for the KO, I'd rather you just throw the shield here and run away. Oh, we're having a little bit of turbulence. No shaders. Hey, I like it. I like it. Similar thing. Just don't do that. Don't throw the shield. If you're committed to fighting, don't throw the shield. The only time I throw the shield is if I'm going to get an execute or if I'm looking for damage. And even then, I still mess it up because sometimes I'll look for a poke. And then I'm like, oh, I could actually KO you. And I don't have the freaking shield throw up. And I was like, oh, I shouldn't have used it. It's still something that I still struggle with. And I have a lot of hours into this character. So If you can nip it in the bud early and not have this problem ever, you'd be already better than me. So be very careful when you're doing that. Know what you're going in for, and if it's for poke, then just, throw it whenever. But if you feel like you can actually fight and get someone, if you're going to stay longer than a few seconds, then you need to make sure that you have your shield. Or your shield throw.
Enemy ahead. Prepare to engage.
So cap is very, very loud. And you going around, I understand the idea, but they can hear you. And so you gotta think of it this way. If I were playing the enemy, well, if I were the enemy and I'm here and I hear do, are you surprising me? But if you go boom, you jump up here, you chill. And then somehow you just fall back. You don't have to use an ability, you just fall on top of me. Is that surprising? The way that you're approaching them is a little bit more difficult. Now, I know I do run around a lot, and what I say is totally different from what I do. I understand. I'm bored. I'm lazy. Sometimes I just want to run around, burn calories. But at the end of the day, I don't want to tell you guys to do what I do, because I know what I do is troll. But if you're going to try to flank, you're going to try to be sneaky, you got to stop moving. But you're moving so much that it's easy to track you. Like, you didn't surprise anybody with that. He just happened to be there. They're lower rank. Even if you really wanted to, you could chill right here. And then when they start walking out, after this is broken, boop, jump up here. Jump on that if you want to. Or just jump up here and then just jump and you're on them again. Just find some really creative ways. You can even come in here and just wait. And chill out, throw the shit a little bit, let them know, hey guys, I'm here. I'm not moving, but I'm here. And then they have to try to cross this, fight your team at the same time, knowing there's a scary cap up there. Like, what do I do? Like, you can even use you can use the psychology of just, I'm afraid and I'm psyching them out. Because if you do that, you don't really have to play the game that much. And then should they walk past you, you drop down. Again, less distance you have to travel and less damage you take from poke. And they don't really know how to handle you when you're approaching that way. The way you're approaching right now isn't really that scary. I like that you try to use the shield throw though. It's after 2 primaries. Huge. You're a gamer. Same thing, the shield toss. Guys, look, let's be honest. Let's have a brief one-on-one here. Like, Poppin', there's more than one of us here. Let's have a brief one-on-one here. I have watched a lot of you guys play cap after you guys have watched me play cap. Now, when I watch you guys, it makes me think, is this what it looks like I'm doing? Because, let me go back. Let me share. We're gonna go back for a second. We're gonna share. We're gonna go back and let me share. Okay. What's up, Fourth Side? Hello. So look, I like this. But look what you do. You go in, you don't even have HP. And then you sit on them. And then you're just like in the middle of everybody. Do I actually do this? And it's not even to say that you're bad or anything like that. I'm actually questioning this because I see everybody do this. And if everybody that I review is doing this, if they watch my content, clearly I do this. Do I do this? Is this how I play? Like, surely. Because you could get so much more out of what you just did, but you made it so difficult because of what you did. But I see everybody do it. And like I said, that's not a stab at you, Nash. I see all Captain Americas that I review do the same thing. Every single one. There's not one that doesn't. And if you guys watch my content and you're subconsciously kind of doing what I do, if I do this, please let me know, because I'm working too hard. Guru, what's up? What's up? Good to see you. You pivoted when I saw the beacon? Okay, I definitely do that. Oh no, If I do, I'm sorry. I don't often speak properly as I should in terms of texting, especially if it's related to my rivals' terms. So I won't know what's going on other than what I'm seeing. Ain't no problem, Kalana. Adolfo, hello. In that particular moment, I went in because Magic did. Okay. Don't do that. If the dive DPS goes in first, unless they ult, if they go in first, you don't really want to match them. You want to go as they go or go before they go, so you take everybody's attention and then, you know. But you're not an assassin. So should Magic go first? What do you do following that up? Because most dive heroes are, I'm going to try to say this word. I always get hung up on it. You got this popping. I know it in my head, but I can never pronounce it. Most dive heroes are it gets me every time when I'm on camera, and then when I'm not, and I just say it normally, it comes out. I think I psych myself out. Cyclical. Cyclical. Cyclical? Hold on. Hold on. We have tools. Is it cyclical? Why do I always add an extra word or extra letters?
Cyclical.
Oh. Maybe it is cyclical. Cyclical? Bro.
Cyclical.
Cyclical. Okay, I think it's cyclical. That's such a weird way to say it, but I think that's why I get hung up on it, because it's cyclical, not cyclical. Yeah, definitely cyclical. Okay. It means, Jesus, poppin'. Okay, it means that every time they go in, they have their rotation and then they leave. Every single time. There's not a lot of dive heroes that can constantly go in and stay in, except Daredevil. Even Iron Fist has to go. Magic definitely has to go. So look, when you do this, you're like, okay, I'm going in because my dive DPS are going in. Doesn't matter which one it is. Look what happens. Is she still in? This is why you don't go after they go. You go when they go, or you go before they go. Otherwise, right? So it's not your problem. She just went in too early. But you can't really play worse for these players trying to get more. It doesn't work like that. You got to play how you play. Like in hindsight, you realize you just went in and accomplished nothing with Magic at all. She just left you. But in game, you're like, okay, well, I'm going to go with the Magic because I think that. Don't do that. Okay, again, he did the same thing, and there's no Magic this time. So you have no HP. This is what I want you to work on, because diving is hard. Diving as a tank is hard. As a DPS, nobody cares about you, and you just flank and all that crap. But when you dive as a DPS or a tank, it actually is difficult because you have to gauge how much HP you're going to have, how much HP you're going to have to work with. And I do know personally, when I play dive tanks, I hate downtime. So when you get low, you feel like if I sit here, I'm not playing the game. If I'm not playing the game, our teams to get run over, and it just messes with you. I think every dive tank goes through this phase, whether they still have it or not. I mean, I still have it, and I play a lot of cap, where it's like I'm not 100% HP, but I want to go in because I cannot just stop playing the game. There's something's going on. I need to play, but that is wrong. That's bad because look, you have no HP and you just went in. This fool is low, right? I don't even know what this guy's doing. But basically, everybody has to work overtime, not just for you, but for that mag as well. It worked out, but it shouldn't have. Y'all would have been run over at that point. You probably went in to distract for your teams to get their footings, but you just got to be really careful about that. It's like it's not bad. The thing is, everything that you do just needs to be refined. Nothing you're doing is inherently bad. It just needs to be refined because as you get higher, it's taken advantage of more. And this is why I complain about Cap quite a bit when I'm playing solo, is because a lot of what he does gets taken advantage pretty easily, and which means that you don't have a lot of time to play the game. So if you're not refined, if you're floaty in your movement or in your gameplay, if you're not like precise, a lot of what happens to this character, he just gets demolished. Like, you have to know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and then you gotta go. That's pretty much what it is. I was trying to absorb attention to make opportunities. The dive uptime is definitely a problem I need to work on. Yeah, I can tell you were trying to probably go in to soak it. Here, just let your team be ready to fight before you do what you do. Again, it's nothing is bad. It just needs to be refined. That's all. Nothing is bad at all. Just needs to be refined. Again, nobody can really fight this. You have to let them get a little bit closer to like right here. And then when your team can see them, you're golden. Okay. Here's what you guys want to do as tanks a lot of the time. You need to have both of this true. If you can have both of these things true at once, you're the best tank in the world. Okay. Number one, my team can see me. Okay. Number two, the enemy team can see me. Okay. But if you want to have a bonus, I mean, if you want to just get extra credit, my team can see enemy. If this is all true, you're going to have a fun game. In this situation, can your team see you? No. I mean, maybe this guy can and she can, but like not the entire team, right? Can the enemy team see you? Yes. Can your team see the enemy? No. In order for all of this to be true, your strats have to get out of position. If he needs to see everybody, he has to do this. What happens if they have a Hawkeye, a Hela, anything that can one bang when they peek? KO'd. What happens if they have a magic or something that loops around here? KO'd. You have to be careful because you don't want to tank in a spot that makes your strats have to work harder or it puts them out of position. A lot of tank players don't think about this, and we actually revisit this topic quite a bit. A lot of tanks don't think about that. What about my strats? What about my strats? This is why I talk so much, or this is why I speak so heavily on my strats when I play. I'm not complaining. It's like I set them up, and yet we still have problems. And then I try to figure out how are we having problems. It doesn't matter which tank that I play. It's just something that I always think about. Now, everybody can see you. Right? The enemy team can see you. You're chilling. And if you want bonus credit, let them come out a little bit and then just start hopping over this way. That. So everything is good. Everything's golden. But you keep doing the same thing. It's like you're not accomplishing anything, but you think you're accomplishing something. Like, what do you think you're accomplishing? Let me just ask. When you keep diving like this, in your mind, what are you accomplishing? This is a hurdle I had to get over too. That's why I'm asking you. This isn't really just a cap thing. If you guys play dive tanks in general, ask yourself this question when you, like just in general, just ask yourself. When I dive poppin', what I accomplish, like what are you accomplishing? Not what you think you're accomplishing, but consistently when you are playing a dive character, what are you accomplishing? Not what you think, what actually unfolds in the match. What are you accomplishing? If you guys cannot say this with confidence, it means that you need to work on this. Every dive that I go for, I can explain like that. Every single one. There's not one dive where I just go, oh, just going into, no. You have to make sure that every time you go into that backline, you go into the middle of the team, you go into doing something, you have a specific reason, and it's not general, it's specific. Think about if like you're like, hey, Poppin', I'm going to the store. What are you gonna go get? I'm thinking about getting, no. You gotta be like, I'm going to get some milk, some eggs, some of this, some of that. I'm gonna be back. That's how it is. I know it's a weird analogy. I'm sorry. I have weird analogies, bro. But that's how you want it to be. When you dive to that backline and go into the store, you only got a limited amount of resources, right? You don't have unlimited money. You only have, you have what you have. You have $15, $20, $30. Why are you trying to buy up the whole store? You have 2 abilities. You also have an HP bar. And you also have a shield. That's your money. You can't burn all your money in one place and get nothing. You're getting cheap. You're getting cheated out your money. You got to get the most value out of your money. This is how you make it last, right? At the time, I was thinking I could pressure the backline and keep them from supporting the tanks to push. The plan was to get in, be annoying, and get out. And that doesn't make any sense, right? I love you, Nash. You know I love you, but it doesn't make any sense. I was looking to pressure the backline and keep them from supporting the tank's push. What happens when you leave, though? When you leave, they just go back to what they were doing. Right? And if they don't even have to use any cooldowns on you, which they don't, they're trolling right now, then you just wasted your resources and got nothing out of it. It's a game of resource trading, resource management. Now, let's just say you are letting them actually start fighting each other first. Cap isn't a tank that goes in first. He's kind of like I mean, you guys see me do it, but he's kind of like a secondary tank, or he's something that goes when things already start popping off, generally. Because all this is popping off and none of it was you. You didn't do anything. At all. You're just there. Your team wins the fight, but you didn't do anything. They would win it without you diving. You guys used ults. And so we're going to get to a situation where you diving in probably doesn't win the fight. And we're going to see it kind of appear. Holy, we got turbulence. Okay, so like, did I call it or did I call it? What you think you're doing, you're not doing. And you just think you're doing it. And the only reason it works is because your team it worked because your team played the game. It didn't work because of you. And so when it fails, you don't really know why it failed because you're doing the same thing you were just doing a second ago that seemed to work. But it's because you didn't really have an idea in mind. You had a general understanding, but you have to actually have something specific. So you got to think, okay, well, Poppet, I understand what you're saying. You know, how do I do this then? When you dive as a dive tank, you have to have objectives in mind. Am I going for a KO? Right? Am I going to burn a cooldown? Right? Am I going to sit there and make it so that my team has easier shots to get picks? Like, something has to lead into a KO. What you're doing is saying, I'm going to go there, do what I do. Team, I hope you do something with it. This is why I get so frustrated at my teams when I talk about things specifically, because it's not like I'm just soaking up attention. I'm actually doing things to make their job easier and they still can't do their job. That's ridiculous. I'm going in, I'm burning cooldowns. I'm going in, I'm making sure that the sniper can't shoot anybody but me. I'm going in and they still lose fights. You guys might not see it that way because what you see on the screen is different than what's actually happening in my head, obviously. But when I create these conditions for my team to win and they still lose, it's frustrating. But in your sense, you're not really creating any conditions to win. It's just you're there. And once you leave, it goes back to neutral because you didn't really accomplish anything. So again, how do we do this? How would I play this better if I were in your shoes? I will let them walk out so my team can see them, right? As they walk out, the team can see them. They can see you. You have more uptime. You're not always low. Then once they're about in this area, I would try to see, okay, so what's the problem? What is really going on? Well, if I go to the back line, I soak up the Deadpool's attention. I could probably burn out the Scarlet Witch Doctor Strange ability, the team up. I might get the, what is it? The sphere, the stun sphere that she throws. I might get the Venom heal. I might get the Cloak and Dagger bubble. After I burned all that, I'm out. I'm at 80% HP, whatever, I'm out. Then we go back in as all those high cooldown abilities are used. After going back in, we win the fight because your team has resource advantage. What you're doing now isn't really, it's just too general. I'm going in to be annoying and then I'm leaving. It's too general. You're not doing anything. You could be annoying and accomplish nothing. You got to make sure that you are accomplishing something. You're burning something. You're getting something. And then you reset, and you go back, and you fight for real. If you're too low, like you usually are every single time that you left, you can't take advantage of what you just did. So as I said before, the mindset that you have is basically just, or at least what I see in the game, it's basically just, I'm going in, teammates do something with it, I'm soaking it all up. And if they don't, you lose. If they do, you win. And that's putting too much faith into your teammates. This is why I usually call it out every time that I play. I know you can't really watch all my streams, huh? But you probably heard it every now and then. When you're like, or when I'm like, okay, got cloak and dagger bubble. Okay, got the bubble, got the fade, got that, got this, got that. It's my checklist, bro. I'm going to the store. I got eggs, I got bacon, I got milk. You know what I mean? I got snacks. That's all it is. That's all it is. I would have liked that you stopped that Doctor Strange from opening that portal with your ult. I'm not gonna lie to you. It'd been gaming. Anyway, you guys kind of see where I'm coming from? You guys understand? I know that was a lot. That was a lot of knowledge dropped at once. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I think I went a little bit into more detail just because he's playing Cap, but that goes for all dive tanks. Hulk, Venom. I mean, you can kind of consider Thing a dive tank at certain moments. You also notice how much more in how much more in you are compared to me. I'm like around, but I'm not in. You're in, dude. But you gotta realize that there's some characters that you just can't stay in on. This is why I don't stay in a lot on when I'm going against certain heroes. Like, you see how much you're just on point, on point, on point. You're not against these characters. They have too much for you. So what you do is you touch. Go up here, maybe. Go up there. Go up here. Like, you are around. And you were already saying my stall, mechanics aren't there. My jump mechanics are there. I understand. This is just knowledge I want in the back of your head. If you're playing against characters that are very good at hitting you, you're playing against characters that are very good at actually stopping you, you have to be a little bit more around rather than in. You have characters that you can easily abuse, you can be more in. It comes with experience. Again, just letting you know based off just having like in your background information. Did we not portal? Bruh, your team is... Bruh, their team portals, not ours. Their team portals, chat, but not ours. I feel like I'm a bronze Cap, even though I've climbed higher with other tanks. Cap doesn't really play like other tanks, so don't feel bad.
The fat lady isn't singing yet.
Don't feel bad at all. You're missing a lot of staging. As I said before, when we first started, you just kind of like go. You have to get up, around something. You have so much mobility you're not using. You could have just hopped up here and chilled out. If you're up here, just in general, you stall the cart. You don't even have to get down. If you're on the roof here, you stall. Anywhere, stall, stall, stall. Stall, 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 stall. No matter what character you are. That actually works over here as well. There's certain spots on every map that, of course, I would know, right? I would know these spots because you guys see me stall like nobody's business. But you could even do it up here. You can stand up here and you'll stall. You can stand up here and you'll stall. I don't know if you can do it up here. I don't think you can because I think it's too far, but you could try. There's just certain locations. You can stand here and get bounce pad repeatedly, and you can stall from here. There's just certain spots that are actually elevated, but you can get on them and then the game will register you as there. There's a lot of spots like that. And sometimes they are really high. It's actually phenomenal how that's coded like that. But if you ever play any character, Spider-Man, Iron Fist, whatever, any character that can get into places or up to places, you can stall and people won't really know where you are. So I like that. I don't know why you backed up though. You see what I mean? This is why you need to have a mental checklist, because you have opportunities to do stuff, but you stop because that's how you play. No. There's no, you're having advantage here. I like that. Okay, you're like, well, he's run away. All right, but then you go back in. Huge. Bop. Boom, what's up? Bop, boom, boom, bop. Keep going. Why are we backing up? There's 3 players that got KO'd. And she's super low. Your whole team's up. Where are we going? And this is also why I tell you not to throw your shield, because if you had your shield, you catch that KO on that Wanda. Oh yeah, where are you going? You would have caused a stagger right then and there. Wait, and then you go back? Yeah, you gotta work on your dive flow. Like you gotta work on like understanding the fight more. Cause you're in randomly and then you're out randomly. But again, it's just mainly because you don't really have a reason to do things. You just go. Maybe when I play Cap, that is what you guys see. Maybe it looks like I don't have any clue what I'm doing, bro. I'm just all over the map. Maybe that's what my Cap actually looks like, bro. Maybe my Cap just looks like some freaking crazy dude running around, no objective in mind at all, but somehow wins games. Unless I verbally speak it, it just looks weird. Maybe that's what my Cap looks like. Again, don't need. No. That's not my Cap. You must be watching some Fisher Price caps, because that's no. I would never in history do that. You just dove into 6 players for no reason and the cart's way back there. You got a stage, buddy. As long as the cart is moving, you don't have to do anything. When it stops, that's when you got to fight. That doesn't matter what character you are. That's every character in general. Let that thing move. You're just feeding ult charge and the possibility of getting KO'd. So what I would like to see you do is I would like to see you come up here, jump, go through here, jump, dash, go through here, or you could just jump straight up and go through here. You can jump on the cart. Do you have enough height for that? Maybe not. I don't remember. When I jump to places, I actually don't think about it. I just do it. But you could jump to the cart, maybe jump on that, and then jump up here. But basically, go somewhere without being seen. This is where you have your setup time. Nothing is really happening. Going from mag to cap is like 0 to 1,000. I'm never sure exactly when to retreat. Yeah, I know. Now you see how you dove in? You try to create space, but you didn't accomplish anything. Why? Because the cart's not even moving. This is called playing for the objective. If the objective needs to be played for, play for it. If not, chill. Again, we're going in for no reason. Wait for a second, man. Breathe. Okay, just inhale, exhale. 3 seconds is all you need. You are so fast. You are playing all the time. You better be lucky your healers can pocket. Because if they had divers on their team, you would be obliterated. Like, the only reason you're even getting away with this is because their team has nothing to go on your backline. They're so focused on dealing with the cap, they don't understand that if they just dive your backline, you don't have resources. You're lucky in this game. But I will say, when you notice stuff like this, abuse it. Because I do too. But I just know that you don't have enough experience on the character to even notice that. You're just going. The fact that you are getting pocketed pretty heavily means you can play a lot more like a madman. But you do have to be careful when you don't have that pocket. You could have dashed out of that eat. I knew I was getting away with a lot, and I knew Papa was gonna call me on it. Oh yeah, you're playing the game like you paid netties or something. That's crazy. Actually playing the game like you paid netties. I like that. You were in for the entire fight. You probably were doing it because Bucky ulted, but it's still a good thing to understand, like, when to stay in for a long time. And if one of your signals is because my DPS ulted or somebody on my team ulted, huge. At least you understand it, which means that you have a trigger. You need to start building up more triggers so you know when you should be doing something and when you shouldn't be doing something. As an example, you guys had the advantage and you backed off for some reason. That should be another trigger. I have an advantage, go, 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 go. All dive characters work like that, and that's not really even a dive thing, that's every hero. If your team has an advantage of some sort, take advantage of it. Again, don't like it, go up here. Start running around, go up here, make noise, spook people. Make people go, Cap's here, where's he at? Because nothing's happening right now. When nothing is happening, just before you do anything, just look at your teammates. Right now, these dudes are trying to book a vacation on their phones. All right, bro? Nothing is happening right now. You think something is happening, but they're not even here. They can't see you. They can't see the team. I don't even know what Hella's throwing things at. Yeah, she couldn't even see anything. I don't know what she was aiming at a second ago. You're taking space that no one's using. And then yeah, that's what happens. You're not doing anything. And then they get KO'd because you weren't doing anything. This is literally the same thing that happened in the first round, where like you kept being so aggressive and then your team gets KO'd for it. Just because you're not doing anything. You gotta wait, man. Let them commit first and then go. This is better. This should work out. If it doesn't work out, someone on your team throwing. This is perfect. People can see you. You can see them. Everybody's fighting. You're in the middle of it. Let's play it out. Okay, I don't like that. You should still be punching this guy in the face or something, or that guy. Okay. Again, Nash, you do this one more time. You do this one more time, I'm never playing Cap again. I better not see this one more time. You know what? All right, 2, 3, 17. We need to work on it. There ain't no way you watching me play Cap and you doing this many times, bro. I'm appalled. Okay, little trick though. Little trick. I want you to, if you don't have it already, jokes aside, if you don't have it already, rebind your shield throw with another one. So how I have my setup is I have his sprint button, his R1, I have it on circle. And then I have the shield throw, the primary fire, I have it on R1. And then I have the dive on R2. I made my R1 my primary fire because my brain could not, after so many hours, it could not readjust how I dive. So I was like, well, if I can't get better at diving on another button, I have to make sure that the dive is always on that button and then put the primary fire on R1. It's easy for me. Whatever works for you, works for you. Put whatever buttons you need to put them. But the reason being is you should be able to throw your shield in the air. You need to learn how to do that. But you see how every time you dive or every time you jump, you kind of just like not doing anything? You need to be able to do that because what you're doing is you're limiting yourself to ground fights. If you're limiting yourself to only fighting on the ground, you're very easy to shoot. But if you're like, boom, bap, bap, go down, boom, bap, bap. You're on the ground for 2 seconds, you're in the air for 2 more seconds. On the ground, 2 seconds, air 2 seconds. Ground 2 seconds, air 2 seconds. If you jump over their head and continue to start throwing that shit, it's the most annoying thing in the world. But like they have to go like this, they have to go like that, and they're taking damage. What you're doing right now is you're making them do this, but there's no penalty. So they just go back to focusing the person in front of them. But if you're jumping over them and slamming shields off their faces, they can't just ignore you. They're taking damage. So they either have to deal with you or ignore you. And if they ignore you, you take them out. If they don't, you chilling. There's a reason why I can run over low ranks so easily. When you give low ranks too many options, bro, they malfunction. Like, seriously. If there's a fight happening right there, if there's something happening over there, you're jumping all around, they just freeze up and you get free chaos. When you get to high ranks, they know exactly what to do because they know how to prioritize. So I recommend that you hotkey your throw button to your primary fire to a different button or your dive to a different button. That way you can fight in the air while also on the ground. The trick is to be on the ground for 1 or 2 seconds, get your primary throw up, and then you start jumping and you start throwing the shield down. This is why I said a lot of people who complain about the animation cancel do not play cap at a high level, or they don't play cap at all, because you are not about to be sitting on a target for so long and only having ground fights. The only time that it matters is if you're going for a KO on a target. Then the animation cancel thing obviously makes sense, but there could be a lot of players that actually don't have the keys rebound, and they only go with the dive, so they could probably feel like, oh my god, you know, this is horrible. But if you're a true cat player, you do that because there's no way you're doing that in high rank. You're not sitting there punching people for so long. It's just not happening. So I'll give you a little brief example of what I'm talking about. Hey, Deluded, how are you? I'll give you a brief example of what I'm talking about. In the practice mode. Okay, so shaders do not load when you are in the replay. Note taken. Speaking of which, if you guys would like to watch on Twitch, you guys can. If you guys would like to watch on YouTube, you guys can. Watch wherever you guys feel comfortable. But if you are on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. It takes a couple of seconds. Bro, what? How am I losing so many packets?
I fight for more than a flag.
Right.
I fight for an idea.
Oh, all my buttons are saved. Oh my god. The sensitivity is atrocious on PC though. It's lower, but like the console reads sensitivity different than PC. So whenever I'm on PC, my sensitivity actually has to be higher. And whenever I'm on console, it has to be lower because the higher it is on PC, it still doesn't exceed how high it is on console. However, the higher it is on console, freaking jetpacks everywhere. So, but anyway, yeah, you need to separate it. So what you would do is you go to your settings, you would get to the hero, right? And you would go ahead, and I have Soldier Slam on R2. Like I said, I couldn't get a hang of putting it on R1. It felt weird. So I have it on R2, and then I have my Sentinel Strike on R1. And then I have Leading Dash, which is the run, on Circle. Really weird for me to get used to, but I got used to it. So now, whenever I want to dive, I'm not accidentally doing this. Whenever it cancels, right? I can mash it, and eventually I get the dive. Also, whenever I'm primary firing, you're looking to do this. You see how much harder it is to actually deal with you if you're doing this? The way you're playing right now is this. This is how you're playing. Oh, I'm distracted. Look at me. Oh, and then when you want to fight, that's you, right? And then if you don't fight, basically you're signaling to the team, whenever I'm in the air, I'm not hurting you. Whenever I'm on the ground, I'm hurting you. So all I have to do is wait for me to hear you behind me, for me to be like, oh, I gotta deal with Cap. Otherwise, if you're just doing that, I'm not afraid. That's why you do this. Because whenever they stop looking at you, it don't matter. You are still scary because you are still hitting these guys, even if you're not right behind them. And then, should you get the KO, you slam on them, do your combo, and you're good. So you have to remember this, because this makes a cat player much better. And as I said, you can see why when I was talking about the animation cancel, it does not matter. You're not doing this in a real fight. It's just not happening. It's only happening with a KO. If you get someone low, or you're trying to finish them off, or you're 1v1ing, that makes sense. But most of the time, Cap is never doing that. You're gonna have to be in the air because you are losing out on uptime in terms of damage because you're only fighting when you're on the ground. You need to make sure that you are also fighting when you're in the air. So, I recommend rebinding those. Okay? I'm not sure there's enough caffeine in the world for me to be a true cat main. It's not as bad as you think. A lot of it is just getting used to it. Once you get used to it, you're chilling. I will say those rebinds took me ages to get used to. Those rebinds took me ages to get used to. But I got used to it, and I am thankful that I got used to it. I even went through a phase where I reverted it because I was like, oh, nah. Oh, nah, bro. I'm definitely not doing this. But eventually I was like, all right, Poppin, you need to step your game up, brother. And so I did that. This is my cat gameplay. Yeah, a lot of cat players play like that. Don't feel bad. It's just not intuitive. You don't really think about it. But you only throw your shield when your dive is down, because you can't dive, so you're shield throwing it, and it's okay. But if you actually make it part of your kit, it's disgusting. All right, next one. Oh, I'm gonna put a check mark. If you guys want to know if your replay reviews have been done, I have a check mark next to it, so that's how you know. Next, we're doing fourth side. So fourth side is a bit shorter, so I'm not gonna share the screen. Fourth side says, my team said I should have switched because I wasn't getting any value. I would like to know what should I have done, or what should I have swapped to if that was the case, and if my team isn't getting any value themselves, how am I supposed to get value, especially when playing support DPS? Okay, well, you have duelists listed here, so we're gonna put a lot of focus on that, but we'll see. Murray, what's up? What's the problem? Overcommitting to dives and leaving your backline? He doesn't overcommit. He just dives with no reason. That's all. I don't think anything he was doing was particularly wrong. It was just he's on all the time. It was one of those cases where Nash is actually very smart. He understands a lot of what I say, and he applies it really quickly. But that also is a problem, because if, whether it's coming from me or other sources, you try to apply them all at the same time way too quickly, and it just ruins it. But also, it leads to him doing a little bit too much sometimes. And in this situation with Cap, because of that, it's not bringing a positive effect; it's bringing a negative effect, because you're doing too much all the time. You have to be able to know when I can do a lot and when I kind of can't, and you play off of that. So everything he was doing was actually correct. It was just timing was all over the place. But I blame me, because clearly, when you guys see me Cap, that's what you see. So if I were a better Cap, we wouldn't be in the situation, I guess. All right, we're gonna be playing Storm. My shaders chat. Let's let things load. So in this situation, you were saying, well, how do I get value? Honestly, Storm is just pretty much an ult bot. Honestly, if you just wait till you get your ultimate, you should be pretty chill. And in a comp like this, you're not really doing much. You're just letting the Moore and Iron Man play the game. Oh, wait. Sorry. Other side. Okay, never mind. I lied. Your game is going to be a lot harder. Wait, ores? Yeah, your game's going to be a lot harder. Okay. So, realistically, you cannot fight with anyone but Mag. And that is the only person you're going to be damage boosting. So, you're looking for more fights rather than just assistance. So, this is going to be more of like a battle Storm type of thing. You're going to be looking for KOs rather than just poke. So here, I know we talked about this a long time ago, maybe like a few months ago, or maybe a month ago. But I remember that we were talking about, well, your positioning as Storm needs to be a little bit more XYZ, and it definitely looks like you're already applying it. But I would like for you not to be so lined up with the rest of your team. You got to be probably like over here. Make them look at you and your team, not just your entire squad, because look at what they see. They see all you guys. What? This guy should be KO'd. What is he doing? You just playing the game for free? What is she aiming at? Surely she must have been destroying a squid. Wait a second. Hold up. I just want to know. I'm nosy. Dude. Bruh. Okay. So, that's your teammates. What we're going to be doing is we're going to just be on squid duty for a while. Okay? So we need to make sure that we are off-angling a little bit more, and we need to be on squid duty, because Namor is not really a problem if there is no squids. Once you take out the squids, you then need to deal with the Iron Man. As long as you make those things go away, your team should be able to play the game. That being said, Penny is a pain in the butt to deal with, but if you can manage to just ult, when you ult, just ult on top of her nest, destroy the nest, and then proceed, your team should be able to push. That's the game plan. Squid duty, Iron Man duty. Squid duty, Iron Man duty. Every time he tosses those squids, you just shoot him. You're just ignoring them. You gotta hit the squids. You see, the more you ignore it, the more your team has to pay attention to it, which means your team can't play the game. And if the only person shooting it is this one, because this one is 30 years away from her, then you don't have a tank. Every time he does that, she should, and she's gonna either get shot or space is gonna be taken. Every time then the mag is scared. Your strats can't do it. Your Star-Lord all over the place. I don't know what this guy's doing. So it's up to you. You have to figure out what is the problem. What is keeping my tanks from pushing forward? It's not because they suck. Realistically, they cannot move because there's something stopping them. Any player in the world, whether they are bronze or rank 1, will move forward if they can. There is something stopping them in their head. Whether it's logical or not, different story, but there's something stopping them in their head. Nest is a problem that you can't really deal with right now. You're not going to flank, you get destroyed. So you're waiting for your ult. But the squids and the Iron Man, that's what you can take care of. You're too focused on trying to pump damage for some reason, instead of focusing on the gameplay itself. Look at this guy. This dude's playing for free, bro. This guy ain't paying no rent or taxes. He shouldn't be here. He should be afraid to stand here. If you were more so to the left, like I said, and you're dealing with the squids, and then you hit this guy after you break the squids, he drops down, and then you move up a little bit closer, and then you're here. And every time he throws the squids, you hit the squids, and then you hit him, and then you hit Iron Man. And you're still in cover. You need to move. I know that you're trying to have the aura on everybody, but that's not gonna work with your comp because they don't have poke. You have mag. That's all you got. If you have a very heavy poke team, then sitting on them and being support player is cool. But if you're not, you have to start making some things happen. He's still playing rent-free, bros. This guy ain't take no damage. Okay. I want to see you over here. You got to really get out the mindset of like your aura. I am 1,000% sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm 1,000% sure that you are only sticking with them because of that's how Storm works. But you have to understand, there are certain times where your team can and cannot use what you're offering, and you have to then play like a regular character, like an Iron Man or like a Ultron, or like, you know, you got to play like regular characters. You can't just play like a support DPS character. So what this means is that, well, if I'm in wind form, can my team use it more? Well, they don't really need to. There's not really much. I mean, they can, but like, it doesn't really do much. If I'm in damage form, can my team use it? They can, but like, they don't really need it. You know what I mean? Can I get more value if I just off angle here? Yeah. Come up here, push him off. And then as you slowly do it, continue to fight here. And as they walk through, guess where your aura is, my friend? Right here. If you just boop, 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 your aura is right there. They could still use it. Play like a character first, and then use your aura secondary. Oh, now you want to take some squids out the way. Now you want to deal with some squids. Again, don't like it. You gotta stop being so close to your team. I know you're playing Storm. I get it. I know. I had a Storm arc a while ago. I never did it on stream though, so y'all don't know. But I did have a little Storm arc. And I used to be caught in that trap of like sitting on my team. But You do have to start taking some off angles from time to time. You get picks, which is great. It's not like you're bad. I told you this before. Last time we did a review, I said the same thing. I said you're not bad. It's just sometimes your options are all over the place. You could just get so much more value of what you're doing if you just do certain things. That's all. I just wish you would do more. You're just doing the bare minimum, but you're capable of so much more, but you're still doing the bare minimum. Like, you're still doing the same thing. You're just doing the bare minimum. You know how many players wish they had your skills and they don't? Yet you're playing like the players that wish they had your skills. You gotta stop playing so bare minimum, man. You're in a rare position to be better than a lot of the players in the game. You gotta start kind of like abusing that. Sometimes go to the right, sometimes go to the left. You don't always gotta be playing in main like this. Zakio, what's up? Hello. Or is it Zaki? Oh my god. You literally told me the right one before, and I'm bad. I'm bad with names sometimes. Okay. Option 1, Zakio. Option 2, Zakio. Option 3, Zaki. Option 4, Zach. Which one are we going with? I remember. I promise. I just forgot all of them. I just forgot all of them. I literally just forgot every single one. The third? Okay. Zakio, Zaki. What was 3? I'm cooked. I think it was Zakio. Zach. I'm so bad. Oh my god, bro. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. Call you whatever. Okay, I'm gonna call you Zach. Zachy. I think Zach. I think Zach. I am so sorry. Thank you for the follow on Twitch, by the way. I am so sorry. I'm genuinely sorry. Like, I'm actually so sorry. Not even a joke. Not even a joke. Like, I'm actually so sorry. Jesus. But it's good to see you again. Even though you told me last time what was correct, I still forgot. You know, I had this same problem with Hostile, and I had this same problem with Tarzaris, and I still mess up his name. There's some names that I just... Bro, I'm cooked. How can you remember the right option if you can't remember any option? Nash, we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. I like this. I like the pressure. You gotta be careful because you have no HP. You don't have to continue to push. Star-Lord's crazy. We realize this guy is crazy because he got KO'd in the first 10 seconds of the match. Don't follow that guy. Do what you do. Hang back. You got him off. Great. You know? I'm gonna just watch from YouTube and still watch the replay. No problem. Watch where you guys feel comfortable. Cool. I like this. Patience. Nothing really to do. You know what I mean? You're hanging out. Huge. This is what I like to see. This is what we should have done earlier. You literally understand how to do it, and you never do it. It's weird. It's like you do know what you should be doing. You're not a bad player, yet for some ungodly reason, you always do a weird option. This is good. I like this. You're chilling. You're waiting. You know, get in that off angle. Should they have to deal with you if they look to the left? Huge. Perfect. You don't only have to get in main yet. Now that you're Star-Lord ults, though, you could be a little bit more active. So go ahead and do something. There you go. I like it. I like it. Mag lands those. I like it. Yeah. Yeah. No. Why'd you back up? Why'd you back up? This was so good. When you have the advantage, whenever, it doesn't matter what character you are, you gotta mow down the rest of the team. Remember, pre-fight, or not pre-fight, I'm sorry, setup, what you did, great. Pre-fight, great. Full fight, great. Cleanup, why did we stop? What's that? There was no reason. There was no reason for this. This was huge. Go. You go back, but in certain situations like that, man, sometimes players can regain their composure, and you might toss the game out the window. I think you're Celestial 3 right now, correct? So you're gonna start noticing a major shift in gameplay once you hit probably Celestial 1. Transitioning between Celestial 2 and Celestial 1 is a different game entirely. And then when you manage to hit Eternity, another different game. And then if you want to hit One Above All, that game is ridiculous. So you have to be very precise about what you're doing, and you have to be all in about what you're doing. The best way to even learn is by doing that. If you're wishy-washy, or if you're scared, or if you're not sure, you're never going to improve on it, because when you get to ranks like that, that's generally where you're trying to tighten up your gameplay. The more you tighten it up, the more you can see what's the problem. But if you're not ever tightening up your gameplay, then you're gonna be in trouble. Yeah, I believe this is Celestial 3 right now. 4 side, is that correct? Currently, you're higher ranked than me. How do you feel? You should be doing my replays. I do like this. Again, your team has advantage. You're pushing. I would like to see a little bit more cover usage, kind of move over here. But, oh no, great. I love it. Okay, godly. Every time I praise you, you do something that I don't want to see. Why you do this? Foresight, every replay I've done of yours. Great. 2 seconds later, why? Great. 2 seconds later, why? Every time, Foresight. You're playing with my emotions, is what I'm trying to say. You guys already won this fight. There was no reason for that. There was no reason for that at all. You could have saved that for the next fight. You honestly could have saved it for when they're walking through that choke and then just ult that. Or when they portal, ult that. If they decide to portal. I don't think they're going to portal. It doesn't look like they have enough time. But I would have definitely saved that for the next fight. You guys already won. You already could tell that you won because you took out 3 of them. And it's 3 versus 6. There's no way that they come back. Okay. Same thing. Don't be in main. Off angle a little bit. Yes! Okay, okay. If you mess this up, we stop in the replay. Let's see. Took the squids out. You still playing on the side? Oh, you going? Oh, you doing some fancy stuff. Okay, brother. Okay. Okay, now you get a little too fancy. Huh? Take me to dinner first. Jesus, trying to show out like this. This is nice. I like it. Okay, we're gonna be a little bit aggressive because we have straddle. Back up a little bit though. Now you're just taking a lot of damage. Okay, you got to get out of main. I know you want to be here, but you can do the same thing if you're just a little bit here. It's the same stuff. You're just cutting off vision from a couple other teammates, and that's way better than getting shot by all of them. For some reason, they're not aiming you. I would actually like to see. I would like to see if they shoot you. What's the more aiming at? Okay, bro is aiming at Jesus. What is Iron Man aiming at? His full should be lasering. That Star-Lord should be KO'd. Okay. I'm trying to still get to that point where we were just watching. It's weird. They don't even care about you, bro. They actually just aren't. Oh, never mind. Oh, but you ulted. Again, don't like it. Just let the ults run out first and then you ult after. Unless you're trying to force out a strat ult, but at that point, I think they already ulted before you ulted. Think about Storm ult as a playmaking tool. or a wipe tool. And I know she doesn't really have a lot of damage with it anymore. It doesn't wipe as hard. But the way that you use it is not before a fight unless you're trying to burn things or make a play. The way you use it is during a fight. Once people start committing, you ult because they can't really get out of it. Your team's already fighting them. What do? That's when you ult. A lot of Storm players, they have a problem of like ulting too early or too late. If you ult as stuff is about to go down or as it's going down, major bonus points because it's helping your team do damage as well, which then secures KOs. If you're trying to ult too early, they'll take you out. They'll match your ult with another ult that takes you out, like Phoenix or Punisher, or they just heal each other. It's not that much damage, or they run away. If you do it too late, I mean, the fight could be over. So let some stuff pop off first, or just use it as like, I'm gonna force a strat ult real quick or something like that. You D-rank from C3, too many throwers, but I'll get him back tonight. Hey, I feel that. I don't remember why I D-ranked from C3. I don't remember it all exactly. Oh, I know. Because I crashed out at myself for being stupid the other night. I lost a game that we should have won, and then after that, every match I played, my performance was just horrible. Clearly, I'm very hard on myself, and I need to learn that it's okay to make mistakes. That mistake was just so painful for me that it affected my gameplay, and I probably should have stopped, but I kept playing for like 6 matches. I guess that's how I get tilted. You know, I tell you guys I never get tilted, but if it's something that I disagree with for my gameplay, I guess I do actually get tilted. I get tilted, chat. I get tilted! I'm part of the population. I'm no longer an outcast. Don't make mistakes in the next match. I generally don't, but that mistake was horrible. Like, I was very down about it. Because I did so much to carry that match, and we almost won after all the work I put in just for me to make one mistake and lose. Oh, I was mad. I mean, my teammates could have played better, don't get me wrong, but I was mad at myself. Here, I don't really think there was a problem. Remember, watch your team. You have a lot of poke. So you have poke with Namor, you have poke with Mag. So you can play a little bit more close. He's not playing Starlord anymore. I get tilted at my supports. I don't get tilted. I just complain. But my gameplay performance doesn't go down. I feel like if you're tilted, your gameplay performance goes down. I play the same regardless of my bad strats. But when it's a mistake on my part, I definitely take it personal. I gotta not get so triggered by it. I like this better. I don't really like you being here, but I like this. Use this as cover. You know, like go like boop boop and just go up and down, up and down. Use this as cover, that little ledge, rather than trying to use this as cover, because they have to like look at you a little bit. So I want to see you continue to go up and down like that. You see how again you're going, go up, just go up. I know it seems like you want to do this so you can get a lot more piercing, but in the grand scheme of things, especially in a fight like this, it's actually better for them to have to look up than it is better for you to get multiple pierce shots off. Like it's there's more value out of them splitting their damage than there is you getting pierce shots. In this particular scenario. Massive. Yes, I like that. I like how you're going up now, and then you do the same thing we talked about over there. Use cover. Just like that. Just like that. Okay, don't like that. Don't like that. Don't like that. Stop doing that. I know you want to get these KOs, man, but you already had a free pick. You guys are already going to win this fight regardless. That ult from her was ridiculous. I don't know if I would have ulted that. Like, imagine if you had ult now, man. After they burned everything. Not saying that team fight was your fault, but I'm just saying we got to use our ults a little bit more sparingly. I do know you get it fast, and I do know that it's not the most impactful ult in the game, but it is still something you should be able to use better. Not just toss out because you can. You wanted to force the sup ult out? That's fine, but you guys already won the fight. You guys already had an advantage. You ulting just prolonged the ability for them to stall long enough until Angela gets back. Whereas if they would have forced the ult for themselves, you still had your ult to win the fight. If I'm a strategist, well, you can ask yourself this question. If you're a strategist and you already lost someone, are you more likely to ult? Yeah. I wouldn't ult just because of a storm. I would ult because we just lost somebody and we're trying to get our bearings back. So there was nothing you had to do there. It is going to take some time. Again, not saying you're like right or wrong about any of these. I just want you to be more thoughtful about using your ultimate. That's all. Like, just have it in the back of your head that I could accomplish a lot more with the ult. Let's see how you use it here, because you shouldn't have to make this match go any longer. So we shouldn't see you waste it. I thought you would have. There's no reason for this. If you were going to ult, you should have ulted as they were walking to you. So a little bit further back. His support flame doesn't register as tilt. Papa's tilt meter has select this. Fair. 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 If you're gonna ult, you should have ulted earlier. To like right here as they're walking through. They can't go anywhere. They can't move. If they're going to use their ult, they're gonna have to ult here and try to make it to point. But you actually would have had a one team fight right here, right off the bat. If you just ulted right here. But you wait until they get uber close. And then you wait for them to ult. Thinking that that's gonna accomplish something. And it's not. There's no way you get anything out of this. Yeah. I didn't even have to watch it to know. I just know. You're using her ult like it's like godlike. It's not. It's horrible. It's like Cap's ult. Cap's ult is atrocious. I hate it. I wish I could get more value out of that thing, but realistically, I'm not getting much out of it if my team doesn't stand in it. So I have very selective scenarios of which I can use it. You have to treat storm ults like that. Like, it's not that great, and you have very selective scenarios to where you should be using it to be more powerful. Does that mean you get less usage out of it? Yeah, sometimes it does mean that, but that's okay. I'd rather have you win the fight than use it to accomplish nothing. A lot of your ults this game accomplish nothing, which is not a good thing. You're doing good, taking the squid. Squid duty, squid duty. Your Star-Lord is not helping the cause, bro. He's insubordination. That sucks. I don't think you need to swap. I think it's just... Bro, this guy put the portal smack dab in the middle. This guy's crazy. Who's jumping through that, bro? You don't even want to jump. That's how you know. Hey, bro, if the Strange don't even want to go through it, that's how you know the portal's wild. That's how you know the portal's wild. That KO was just on you. You didn't really play into our fog. It was a bad portal regardless, though, but... Hey, you win. Why would he ult early? Yeah, all you're doing, you win this fight if you just wait and you pop the ult. A little too early. I know you don't have much of a choice, but... So in that situation, I would never chase that strat because your team is here and we got to win point. I mean, the game is already over, it looks like. But there's no reason for you to go chase something and allow your team to fight without a DPS like that. I know theoretically it makes sense to try to get the strat out, and you're not necessarily wrong, but just in that particular situation, I wouldn't recommend that because you need to fight for the point. What you're doing is saying, hey, I'm chasing this person, I'm getting a little bit of value out because how good is Storm's chase potential? Let's be honest. It's not that great. So... I like this. Again, I like your little off angle. This is good. Don't like this, though. You're in main again. Support bait Stormo. Yeah, that's pretty much what's happened. I mean, I guess in that scenario, he didn't really have a choice, though. You guys just got run through. I think morale was over. I think once you guys lost that point, you guys just kind of mental boom. Maybe not you, but your team did, because that fight just looked like people just didn't care anymore. For you, I would just say work on your support, your ult usage. Your ult usage is very hit or miss, and it's more miss than hit. Use it as a playmaker or use it as a disrupt. Okay? Think about how much chaos a Storm ult would cause in the middle of a fight rather than at the start or the beginning. I mean, at the beginning or the end, right? I would like to see you off angle a little bit more, and I would like to see you understand why you're not able to push or what is preventing your team from doing what they want to do. And if you play like that, you'll be able to then start off angling more. You'll start noticing you need to split up attention. You'll start noticing I could be able to take this guy out whenever this guy does anything, something like that. I think you're a little bit too much into the support my team with my aura mode. And with that, it's preventing you from playing like a normal hero. I know that's weird, but it seems like that's what's really getting you. Because you could, a lot of the times, if you notice, when you off angle, you were giving them aura almost every single time. But then for some reason, you just stop doing that, and you just like, well, I gotta sit in the middle. And it's like, well, you could accomplish this. You was giving them the aura over there. Do it the same way, you know? So that's pretty much what I think that we should be doing. Waiting for C&D ult to finish, knowing I could stall it. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, if you ult earlier, she forces that C&D ult way earlier, which she barely makes it to the point. But I just needed an excuse or blame to feel better about themselves. Yeah, that wasn't on you at all. You could have played better, of course, but it's not like you playing better, I don't think would have won the fight, but or won the match. But you had specific points where you could have done things and you just did it. So it's not your fault, but there were things that we could have done to turn the tide. And that's the stuff that you focus on, not the entire match, just those little things. I also understand Storm has a bad rep, and most players feel she sucks. Join the club. The characters I'm playing this season are Cap on tank, Blade on DPS, and White Fox on strat. So, if anyone's getting anything from anybody, it is me. Join the club. T-Mill, what's up? Good to see you. You're just doing replay reviews today. Poppin', how can I get you to skip to mine? Being a member. If you're a member, you guys get your replays first. I still do sometimes skip you guys regardless because some of you guys get replays back to back. So I don't, like, you guys get them each week first, which obviously I don't want. So I do skip sometimes, but usually if you're a member, you will get your replays done first. You usually hop in the front of the line of everything if you're a member or a sub on Twitch, wherever you prefer to be. Ult usage, disruption, or playmaking. I got it. Yep. What's up, Productions? Hello. Guru said, "Yep, done deal. Done deal. Replay." Okay, well, I guess we did your replay. Thank you for the support. Much appreciated. Thank you. All right, we're gonna go ahead and hop to it. What is your what is your name on there? Is it the same? Do you have it inside my Discord, or you haven't actually put it? If it's not in my Discord, don't worry. You don't have to go all the way over there. You want to just put the replay in chat. Oh, it's NF? Oh, I got you. I got you, NF. Did you name change, bro? Weren't you the eye test? LFC, what's up? How's Blade this season? He's pretty much the same as he was last season. There's some pretty niche scenarios on which he's like better, but for the most part, I feel like the changes were kind of blown out of proportion. I feel like I said that a lot, and I feel like I'm somebody that when you guys tell me about changes, or when you guys like are excited about something, and then I'm just like, yeah, I don't think that it will do much. I feel like I'm such a Debbie Downer on everything, but I just feel like everything is super overhyped. So then I come off as like I like to be realistic, and then I come off as like the downer. I come off as like, oh, I guess you just don't care about blah 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 blah, and it's just like it's just like that. I'm just being honest though. Realistically, those blade changes really weren't that hype. Uh, if you want to put the replay, I only told Guru to put the replay in chat because they become a member, so I was gonna skip to their replay. But if you're not gonna become a member and you just want to have your replay, you're gonna have to put it in the Discord. That way, I could keep track of it. Okay, let me go ahead and because yours is pretty long, so let me share with this Discord or share with the stream. Okay, here's what NF said. NF says, honestly, just wanted to see your insight. I was trolling a little until the middle of the second point because I thought it was GG's. Then I locked in. Are you trolling? You shall see. I tried Fox at the first half defense, but then realized my tanks were horrid. So you know what time it was. You'll see some fun plays by me, okay? I locked in at like 1750 if you want to make it shorter so you could skim through earlier stuff on what not to do. But I'm aware of my mistakes. I'm being goofy. Okay, we'll just hop to 1750 then. That's what we will do. I don't even. Does there? Oh, it does. I was gonna say, does the replay even show you 1750? I mean, is there anything specific? I mean, you said you were trolling, so I guess there's not really a point in me looking at it. You were trolling your game. There's not really much for me to look at then, in that regard. But we'll lock in when you lock in. What's happening? Netties? Should I just restart the replay? I don't know what's going on. Oh, there we go. I think people give White Fox a bad rep. I actually genuinely enjoy her, and I think her healing is fine. But I do know that there's a difference between someone who really knows how to play White Fox versus someone who doesn't. Not saying that's why your team was struggling. I'm just saying in general. I do know the perception of a bad White Fox because a good White Fox has a lot of healing. A bad one doesn't. And I feel like it takes a lot longer to be good at that character. A lot of people just see her as a heal bot, or a lot of people just freaking go in melee form repeatedly. Both I cannot stand. Both I cannot stand. But I do love the character. I guess I could do. I mean, do you care about White Fox? Because I do know that there's some people that watch this that do want to play White Fox, and I could actually talk about it. But if you're like, you're not really chill, you're not really caring about playing the character, then it's kind of pointless. So, really up to your thoughts on that one. What happens when bro doesn't load the shaders? Is that really it? Is that really it? It's not a shaders issue. It's network from NetEase. I play with good with there, but tanks are awful. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Let's see. Little turbulence. Little turbulence shot. Little turbulence. Okay, buckle your seatbelts. I will say that you got to be a little bit more careful about going into melee mode because of it's a very long cooldown. So there's some team compositions where you can be in melee form a lot more, and then there's some team compositions where you just can't really do it that often. And this is one of those team compositions where you can't do it that often because you're running with a Penny, which never moves. You're running with the Storm, which never moves. You're running with an Ultron, which never moves. And you're running with a Cloak and Dagger, which never moves. So your game plan is going to be a lot more reactive rather than proactive. And that's okay. It's just one of those scenarios where you're going to have to play it that way. Because if you don't, and you need it, and you don't have it, then you're in trouble. I wonder if I just watch it this way, will it be less laggy? Or like if things will load faster. Okay, so in situations where people start popping ults though, are we watching a slide projection? Nash! Shut up! In situations where people start popping their ults, especially when your team comp is this, that's when you would go in. Otherwise, you kind of are just chilling. Yeah, you're going to have to go in with the ultimates itself. When you do that, that's better. Because your team comp is really bad. You guys already won the fight. There's no reason to ult. You guys just need to back up and reset. That Cloak and Dagger is trolling. It got value considering the fact that that Cloak and Dagger ulted randomly, but you didn't really have to do that. So this is just understanding how to play with the team comp that you have. I know that characters that tend to have a lot of ways to play are very difficult to... It's harder to know when to do things because there's not necessarily an objectively better way, right? So White Fox has a lot of ways to play the game, but there's not really anything that's like, I should always do this. That's more like a rocket, right? I should always is like a rocket thing. But her, it's more of like, well, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. And you have to know which ones to do and why. In a situation like that where your team already won the fight, no reason to ult. In a situation where your team is basically campers, because that's what the characters are designed to do, you can't go in. Which means you don't play like that in this game. Now you go in, because you have an ult propped, which is what you do. Huge. You knock them back, start getting some damage. Like it. And we just chill. That's all you're doing. It's a very boring comp that you have, but that's all you're doing. You're not doing anything else. It's just a very boring match. When you're going to be using your like Fox, I don't know what the ability is called, but when you throw the Fox out, only do that if you're going to hit multiple people. And I'm talking about enemies. The Fox that you throw out takes a tail, and it also does 65 healing. Your primary fire does 50 damage and then 50 healing, which means that you, in this time that it takes for you to shoot the Fox out, go back to primary fire, you actually have less healing than you would if you just popped out 3 bubbles. You know what I mean? So if you're going to toss the Fox out, try to hit people with it, not just your team, because it's not actually more healing. It's just a delayed heal. So primary fire takes precedence, and then the Fox when you have multiple people you're targeting. Okay? That way you have it in the bag more often, and you're not wasting a lot of your tails on just random Foxes trying to heal, because it doesn't really heal that much. We get KO'd there because, again, we went in when we shouldn't. Our team is very campy. So there's not much we could do. I know how you feel about when people not going in though. But sometimes, man, it's just a boring freaking game. You see, you're still trying to use the Fox like to heal. It's not that good. Stop doing that. You're just wasting tails, and then you won't have it for the fight. Because Penny needs to set up first, you guys are getting run down, but it's okay because all the pressure that they're using right now, the cart's not, like the people still are sitting on the cart, right? So it's kind of like half a team. Just let everybody reset. I know it looks like they're pressuring your team and it's going crazy and they're not moving, and I get this, but the characters you're playing with are setup characters. This means in order for them to be effective, they have to take time to be effective. When you guys were holding the point earlier on the first point, you realize how long you guys held it there doing nothing. That's because everybody was set up and they had time to set up. But when you're playing into a team that pushes you and you're playing characters like Storm, Ultron, Penny, Cloak and Dagger, like these characters don't like to have to constantly move. They like to sit in a spot. So let them force, if you gotta let your team get KO'd, let them get KO'd. Basically, you want to have them get to their setup phase as soon as possible. And if they got a KO, they got a KO. What you're doing when you try to keep them healthy is you're just prolonging the inevitable of getting run over. They don't have a way to stop it until they set up. So you let them get KO'd. This is something that a lot of strategist players actually struggle with. They're in that mindset of like, I have to heal, I have to make sure you survive, I have to get you out safely. No, the more you heal, the longer it takes for them to reset. Whether it be if they walk or if they get KO'd. Let everything just settle. Reset for the next fight. The more you prolong it, the more staggers happen because either you're going to get KO'd or somebody else is going to get KO'd, and you're still keeping people alive, which means that they're trying to focus on walking back while still healing and getting HP, and they're coming back from spawn, and then, oh no, this person gets picked off because they're fighting an uneven fight, and then now there's another stagger. By the time that person gets here, you're trying to make sure that that person's healthy, and then it's just, let everybody get KO'd. It's cool. Let everybody get KO'd. You know, come back, chilling. That's all that it is. If you do that, we're chilling. Like, she has to actively set up in a good spot for it to work. This right here is a good spot. And this is something where you kind of have to play Penny to know. There are certain spots where she can and can't set up. And this character, usually the funky characters, I would recommend not necessarily playing, but understanding how they function. Because then you have a better understanding of when they can and can't do something. So Penny is one of those characters where it's like she can't play everywhere. She has certain spots that she has to play in. And you got to know that. Otherwise, she's going to be baited into a spot she can't play in, or the team is going to go to a spot she can't play in while she's not moving. So I do recommend any player in general. If you don't play Penny, you know, you don't have to play her, but just kind of remember she needs to set up in certain locations, and she's not going to be effective otherwise. Freaking camping no more. Nice. Oh, almost got him. That ain't what much you can do. Or what much you can do there. Team just got wiped off ults. When playing Strat, try not to spam your abilities so much. I know it's tempting, but Strat abilities are very impactful. They're one of the more impactful roles in the game. So you don't just want to use things to use them. You really want to be a little bit more thoughtful about why you use them, because most of them have some really high cooldowns. Luna, Cloak and Dagger, White Fox. A lot of them have a lot of high cooldowns. Nice. Gaming. Cool. Good secures. Again, gotta stop wasting the abilities. Just chill. Just chill, just chill, just chill. You're spamming way too much. I know you come from DPS, so DPS characters generally have a lot more spammable abilities than tanks and strats. But when you're playing tank and or strat, you gotta be a little bit more... Well, some tanks do have some really short cooldowns like Doctor Strange, but... When you're playing a strat, and most tanks, be a little bit more thoughtful about when you're using them. I mean, Thor's cooldown is freaking low. Good push. One for it. You guys can win this. I don't mind this, but just stay in cover when doing it. You're just bouncing all over the place, but you're gonna get shot. So just chill right here, and still, her hitbox is just ginormous. Honestly, if you would have done that, he would have been KO'd. But you're just bouncing all over the place. You're not a DPS, and even if you are a DPS, it's still important to, if you're a melee one, to use cover and just hit what's on the side, rather than trying to hit specific targets or bounce around. Because melee characters are generally very easy to hit. Unless you're like Iron Fist or Daredevil. Those characters, different story. But like if you're playing Wolf, you have to use cover a little bit more. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Magic is another one where you do have to use cover a little bit sometimes when you don't have your abilities up. Stuff like that. Alright. Now you said you lock in, you're on tank. Let's go. Can you do yours after this? Members are the only ones who get the skip. So I try to get to everybody. I mean, not in one stream, but I do try to get to everybody. But if you're a member, you do get yours first. So I can't skip. But it also depends on what role, because I do skip around for roles specifically. Like we did a lot of tanks, so I want to get some strats in. I think we did 1 DPS. Oh, you troll till 17? Okay. Well, let's get to 17. I just wanted to talk about White Fox in particular.
The vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Keep up the momentum. Okay. 1750. Now we're gaming. I do like how you're trying to go through this area rather than that. A lot of players try to funnel through this small area. I'm like, bro, not happening. Well, I would like to just see you stand here. You can still accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, but do it from here. You don't need to be in the front. They honestly could laser you down if they weren't paying attention to that mag over there. No reason to even try to do what you're doing. Cloak and Dagger popped up an ult, so if you guys don't have a match, just assume you lost and just back out immediately. The mag ult was fine, but when we heard us against the world, we just leave. We just leave. You're not accomplishing anything unless you have a match. You do have a match, right? Yeah, you do. You do have a match, but I wouldn't even commit to anything until it's used. So I would retreat a little bit because you don't want to be stuck if nobody's gonna ult you. You did it a little bit where you backed up, but as I said, if that doesn't happen and let's say he landed that, you'd just be stuck. Aren't there people behind you? Oh no. I was gonna say, you just left your team. Okay, cool. Your team is really, really far away, so just be careful if you get pushed, you're in trouble. But it looks like you're looking for an ult, so. That was kind of sketch. I don't mind what you're doing. I really do love this, but you have to remember the type of characters that they have. That should never have worked. Like, what are you doing? Shielding, bro. Just bubble her. He's still... Oh, did he bubble somebody else? Bro, what? Also, you guys already had an advantage, so it was kind of a pointless ult. I guess you're trying to stagger, though, which is still fine. But you could have staggered without ulting, I think. But I want to see what he bubbled, because I was trolling. He bubbled him. Yeah, he's griefing. That doesn't work. If that was a higher rank, that doesn't work. I like the idea, though. It wasn't a bad idea. It's just, it has to be executed a lot better, because that should not have worked. You only got away with it because he wasted it. But you didn't ult because he wasted it. You ulted before he wasted it. And that just led to a net positive. But the fact that you didn't ult because he wasted it is the problem. Because you will get punished for that if you don't wait for these cooldowns to be used. So again, I like your thought process, just the execution. That's all. I don't mind what you're trying to do, but the cart's way back there. There's no reason to try to force space if there's no space to really be used at that moment. Like, let's just say, okay, let's put it in bird's eye. So in bird's eye, you know, I'm going to walk up here and I'm going to give you guys all this space. This is what I'm giving you guys because I'm here. Right? All that your team can play into. Only one person walks forward. Why? Because the cart's not even moving yet. I would have liked for you to hold this corner, let the cart get here, and as it's there, you walk on the cart, and then you continue to push with the cart. And as the cart pushes, you can then go over here, and you go from cover to cover. This allows you to make it so that they have to walk back, which then allows the cart to continue to push, and then you can go right back into the cart, and you hold the right side of the cart. And as the cart continues to push this way, you're then pushing them backwards. You know, be a little bit more methodical with your pushes, not just brute force. You see, you're just kind of in the middle of nowhere. It doesn't accomplish as much as you think it accomplishes. The idea is not bad. You're trying to create space, which is great. Just the execution again. Just the execution. I think you're just getting away with a lot more than you should be able to get away with. I've noticed that players this season are really like, they're not that great. I don't know why, but players this season are not, I mean, it could be the old changes, maybe. But like the decision-making skills are not it. I don't know what's going on. Like the fact that you were able to just walk for free. What were they actually shooting at? I'm just curious. Let's see. Let's see. Bro, Square Girl doesn't even care about you. Punisher's trying. Like this doesn't make sense. You should never be able to do this. I think that you need to really chill out. You're forcing way too much. And the problem with forcing is that it works in this game because people don't know how to deal with people forcing, but you're gonna hard fall off once people start dealing with it. And that's because the game itself doesn't have like a learning curve as you climb. It's really like just steps. It's like, okay, well, I'm here. The next rank, you know, is this next step. And so you're going to get stuck eventually because of how you're playing. And I don't want that to happen to you. You have to make sure that you're more methodical with how you're approaching things because you're just running at them. And either you're pocketed and it works or you're not pocketed and it doesn't. It's like you're just gambling. Like even here. Now, this is cool. I would just like to see you hug walls. Well, you're just so forcey. You're just so walking at him and in the middle of nowhere, and you know. I want to see you succeed, but this is not how you succeed. You have to wait for the objective to get closer. You have to wait for advantages to be able to push. I don't really know what this man is doing. This fool is just like in Narnia. He's saying, well, who's helping who? Are you on comms? Is that why? If you're on comms, that makes total sense. But if you're not on comms, you're madman. I like how both these tanks are thinking the same thing. Let me block the heals and stuff. Let me block the heals and stuff. It's so funny. It's so funny. No, you're not on comms? Okay, yeah, you're crazy. You're just a madman, bro. You're just a madman. I don't know what to say. But yeah, you're just very floaty. You're everywhere. And like, the thing is, it's similar case to fourth side. It's like, you know what you should be doing, but the execution is so loose. You have to tighten up the gameplay. This is what, again, this is what separates. So to get to Grandmaster, it's actually not that difficult. And I know a lot of people are like not Grandmaster right now, and I know me saying that might sound really bad and just obnoxious. And, you know, when I say it's not hard to get to Grandmaster, realistically, you can get to Grandmaster without actually improving much. As long as you get efficient on your character, you don't really need to understand the game at all, and you could probably hit Grandmaster. The climb from Grandmaster to Celestial is kind of similar, but the thing with that is like you have to get through a whole bunch of trolls and annoying people, and just, it's not much about how I improve and this is how I get to Celestial. It's more about like still refining your gameplay a little bit and just thinking about nuances. That's probably the best way to, okay, so getting from Bronze to Grandmaster is just how well do I know my character and how well can I use it. From getting to Grandmaster to Celestial, it's kind of like, I know my character really well, but how do I handle all these little niche scenarios? How do I handle all these other things? You know, how can I abuse this? And then when you want to climb to Celestial 3 through Eternity, that's where the game becomes the game. And this is where a lot of players get tripped up. And this is why a lot of players get knocked out of Celestial 3, or a lot of players can't get out of Celestial 3. It's because now the game is like, learn to play Marvel Rivals. But a lot of players spent so much time not doing that, that when they reach this spot, they don't really understand, right? And this is because a lot of these characters are abusable. A lot of the times you can just force yourself through things and not really have to think it out, and you get away with it. And then that stops working. This is also why a lot of the times when you see people say, have like challenges, character to Grandmaster or character to Celestial, like if they're making content like that, it's because they understand it's very easy to do it. It doesn't require a lot. You can brute force regular knowledge and hit Grandmaster, especially if you've already been past it. You can brute force yourself to Celestial 3, especially if you've already been past it. I played Blade, that was considered one of the worst characters in the game, and a throw pick from Grandmaster to Eternity. Now, I have a lot more of a methodical approach to how I play the game, but what I'm saying is that that can't be brute forced with a character like that, right? But if this is why if you see people do it with like Magic or like Iron Fist, something like that, that's a more brute force character. This is why I put Strange so high. Strange is a very brute force character. The character is broken. You could do whatever you want and he works. That's why I put him at a high tier list, right? Those people that I put on S are those heavy brute force characters. The ones at A's are similar as well. It's just they're not that crazy. And that's what people usually use, especially if they're smurfing. So what I'm saying is, when you guys are climbing to Grandmaster and out of Grandmaster, remember that you have to start making sense about what you're doing. In a general mindset, yeah, I'm doing this because of, okay, that's cool. But you're going to have to be a lot more precise about why you're doing something. because you're getting rewarded in ranks that just cannot understand how to play. And that's not your fault. That's NetEase's fault for releasing ranked and having players inflated, and also allowing players to play with stacks, and also allowing just a whole bunch of nonsense, which creates an imbalance of gameplay in all ranks. But it does tend to fall off after you hit Celestial. Granted, you can only duo, and that transition to Eternity really then becomes the real game. And if you want to get to one above all, that's a whole another transition. Like, that gameplay is freaking ridiculous compared to Eternity. That being said, if you continue to play this way, you're going to get stuck. I don't want you to get stuck. Okay? So what we need to work on is going to be, why am I doing something? And how can I do it efficiently? You're not trying to cheese. You're not trying to brute force. I don't want you to get stuck in Celestial 3. Don't want you to get stuck in Celestial 2. If you really want to get higher than that, I support you. But I just know what it's like being stuck, and it sucks. So if we can get this situated already by time, because you're not bad. You just, stuff is just it's just clunky. So if we can get you to that point to where it's like everything is really efficient and you are already good, bro, you're chilling. You're chilling. So yeah, all this space you're giving, I understand the idea, but it doesn't accomplish anything. Look where your team is. Look what they're doing. What are you giving them? What are they attacking? What are they shooting? Nothing. But it works. You're not wrong. Just the execution is poor and the timing is poor. How you do it, you're not using cover at all. You're just in the middle of nowhere. And when you do it, it's just at a random time. The thing is, it might seem like when I do reviews of players who are higher rank, like a Grandmaster or wanting, like if you tell me, if I do reviews or I do coaching for you and you tell me specifically what rank you want, or if you are already playing in those high ranks, I usually am a bit more hard on you, because you're not at the rank yet where you'll get abused. You will get to that rank and you will get abused. And being abused is one of the worst feelings ever, because you cannot, it's hard to know why. If you feel like you're doing well and all of a sudden everybody's just dissecting you, it feels like, bro, I don't even, what? I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. So that's why I'm usually a lot harder on players that are already high, or players that have their goals set really high, because that stuff matters, and you guys just haven't experienced that level of gameplay yet. It is not the same game, and I'm warning you now, and this is why I want you guys to get better. If you're like, I only want to hit Diamond, or I want to hit Grandmaster, that's a different story. That gameplay is not too much different, but someone who's climbed on both PC and console, someone who's climbed through those ranks several times, the gameplay is different. I don't mind that. I think this is cool. You're doing what we talked about within the last round. I do like that. I just don't like how you overstep. Just chill out. Be here and do what you're doing. You don't need to overstep. Play the cart and then go this way, right? Or even play here. You can still move around and stuff. You don't have to overstep. Your goal is just to stop them. You're chilling. This is fine though. Cool. Cool. Good W. Good W. As I said before, oh wait, it's not over yet. You got one more push. As I said before, you're not necessarily wrong in what you're doing. Just tighten it up. Make it more efficient. Oh, we're playing the Venom. Okay. Venom in the Punisher is like ridiculously hard. Anything in the Punisher is ridiculously hard. I like the little flank angle that you took. Huge. That was good. I don't really have anything to say about that. That was good. Took your time. You went around. Perfect. You got the KOs. That was good. That was good. That was good. Do you play Venom more than you play Strange? Is that why the transition? I'm watching some of my losses, and my lord, the majority of losses are supports tilting for no reason. Hey yo, I feel that. Play all tanks, you just need overhealth? Okay, got you, I got you. It looked like your Venom... I only saw a little bit of it, though. But it looked like that was a better... execution. I did my placement matches opening weekend being hard-headed. You skipped the Invis stagger? Did I? I didn't see it. I mean, I thought you were playing. I thought your decisions weren't bad at all. I honestly thought you were making some great decisions. It's definitely the ult changes. Oh, it should be ulting, not tilting. I got you. Yeah, overall, just work on your executions. Try to be a little bit more tight in your gameplay. You know, not to call it sloppy, but that's kind of, I don't really know how to. It's not really sloppy. It's just clunky. It's like you do things without notice. It's like you've gotten so good at playing against the consequences that you got so good at playing against the consequences that you don't really care, and that's not a good thing. Just don't make yourself be in those positions. Okay, let me see if we can get some strats or some duelists. Because we've done a lot of tank. Okay, so Zaki. It looks like your name on here is Zaki. So is it Zaki? Is it Zakio? I've been calling you Zaki, but is it Zaki? I don't know. Felt like I couldn't do anything in this game. I was getting marked real bad. So just for the future, guys, if you guys do leave replay reviews, make sure you give more context. Because if you don't have more context, it takes a lot longer for you to go through the replays because I'm not really sure exactly what I'm looking for. And I do understand it's a free replay review. So you guys want free replay reviews, which is fine. That's what I'm here for. But the longer it takes me to do it, the less reviews I can get through. And it also means that you get less structured advice because I don't know specifically on what you're asking. So when you guys do your replay reviews, I'm not saying write paragraph. If you want to, feel free, I'll read it. But give me something that I can be like, okay, I know exactly kind of where to start, rather than, well, I just gotta take the general replay and just figure it out, you know? Again, making it so that it's shorter for me so that I can get to other people's reviews, but it also means that you have better things to work on other than just general things that I just point out because I don't know exactly what you're struggling on because you've never had a session with me or it's your first review and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. That's something I do ask.
The battle starts in 5.
How about late for me? Thank you for the review. Gonna head to bed. See you soon. I'll hit you on the one-on-one though. I got you. No problem. No problem. Like I said, I think you're doing good. Just try to refine it. You're chilling. You have some good decision-making skills. It's just you got to make sure your gameplay matches your thought process because you don't look like you're not understanding what you're doing. You don't look like you're unsure. You know what you want to do. It's just not executed as flawlessly as it could be. That's all it is. Have a good night. I'll talk to you later. What would you consider good context? Actually, I'm curious. Are we gonna finally get the Knife Wife special? Bro, I've been begging Knife Wife to join our Discord, and I've been begging Knife Wife to give us a review. Yo, we're getting closer. We're warming her up, chat. Come on, we gotta warm her up. We got to make sure they feel inclusive. Okay, but anyway, good context would be something like, if I were, you're a strategist player, right? So I can use that as an example. If I'm a strategist player, something that I've seen in the past when I did reviews, even that it was video form, they would say something like, well, I did a lot of healing and we still lost. I also had good ultimates, so I don't really know why we lost. That's super general, and I'm not really sure what you're asking. That just means that I have to do extra work to figure it out, and it also means I might give you advice you're not looking for. Whereas if you're like, well, I'm doing my best to make sure that I'm healing and doing damage, yet for some reason we're still losing fights. Every time I ult, my team still gets wiped. I struggle at positioning against divers, or I position well, but I feel like I'm not close enough to the fight. These like little nuances and things like that, that's a lot easier for me to help figure out, well, okay, this is a good starting line, and how can we go about it? You know what I mean? Because then I can dive deeper into it. But if it's generic, I don't really know where to dive deeper, and it might not be the advice you're looking for. There are some times, it's very rare, but there are some times where people give me their review and they leave it a general context, and I do it, and they're like, oh, I already knew I had those mistakes. I wanted you to focus more on, and it's like, well, if you wanted me to focus more on that specifically, why didn't you tell me? You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it. I don't mind if you don't have a lot of context, but just know it might not yield the results that you want, and it does actually take more time for me to do it. And I hope you guys respect my time as much as I respect your time. So this is why I ask.
You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
Members are not excluded either. Members actually have a higher standard, because y'all should know, all right? Even though the members are the reason why I'm even doing this. The members make all of this free stuff possible. Thank you guys. Everybody loves you guys, but they usually have the higher standards, which is why whenever a member puts their review in daily paragraphs, you're like popping this, go. And I'm like, all right, I got you. We have more context next time? Don't worry. You're not the only one. I'm not trying to say like you're in trouble or anything like that. I'm just targeting you. I'm just letting you know, for the better experience, it's just best to do that. Little turbulence. All right, so we know that there's someone back here. It's a Spider-Man, which means that, ooh, they have a Black Panther too. Your game is going to be cut out for you. You already know that Iron Fist ain't going to play with those two characters, and at least you have some really good strats though. Your goal right now is just going to be making sure that you stop them from doing what they want to do. If the tanks start walking in your sightline's cool, but you're not really going to get much damage on the back line. You just kind of leave that to, unless you get good angles, you just leave that to their Iron Fist. But let's see how it plays. So you notice I'm coming in. I don't think, did you use your shift? You did. I don't think using your shift there was necessary. I mean, it's kind of hard because you now have 250 HP, though. You used to have 275, which made it a lot harder for him to do what he wants to do. But at 250 HP, you actually might get KO'd, so never mind. I think shift was fine. I think it was fine. Because, yeah, he could get you. You'd be gambling. I don't really like this, though. Direct your focus back to the fight. So when you're dealing with divers, they only go in, do something for a second, and then they leave. After they leave, focus. Laser focus. Like, boom. When you hear them or see them, when they leave, focus. Because what you're doing is you're either A, trying to KO them if you're good enough, or if they're just bad. You know what I mean? Because some of these divers are just really freaking good at getting away. You're trying to just push them away and make them run. And then you have like 3 to 5 seconds to fight the real fight. Your goal is to pump out as much damage. Your goal is to put as much value into the fight until they return. Because once they return, you're busy again. This is why coordinated dives are a lot harder to deal with, because you have the team pushing and then they're diving at the same time. You're like, oh my God, which one do I focus on? But that doesn't really happen too often until you're probably like Eternity or One Above All. Otherwise, people just kind of do random dives and, but you're focused on trying to get the KO. Divers, you're probably not going to KO them. They have way too much mobility unless you're godlike or they are bad. Focus on getting them away from you. After you do it, good job. Back to the team fight. Like, you don't really have to even fight him here because he doesn't go in. I will say you need a better angle on the fight in general because you're not really anywhere near the fight. So okay, let's break this into steps because we're kind of all over the place with this, and I can kind of see where we're going. All right, so remember, we have a few things. We have setup. Oops. Oh my god. You have setup, pre-fight. Of course, my viewers are tired of seeing this. Full fight. Clean up. We're not really set up at all. We're just there. If you're set up, you have good angles on the fight. So if we go back a little bit, the way you're setting up is to the divers, not to the fight itself. See? You're not even set up. You're just there. You're in main. The fight isn't going to take place back there. It's going to come to this little area where you're at right now, right? So why don't you just get ready? If you get ready, you could be maybe here. What this allows you to do is this allows you to scout. This allows you to see everybody. You can see if anybody's trying to come up here or drop down from there. You can even, if you really want to, beforehand, you honestly should have been up here. It depends on what you're playing, though. I wouldn't do it all the time, but I do it a lot when I'm playing DPS. Even when I'm playing tank, I'll do it too. But this way you can see who's going over there. You know which characters are being played, and then you know how to position. If you're like, oh, no divers, nobody's going over there, then you go back and you play normal. If you're like, oh, somebody's coming around, then what you need to do, obviously, is come over here, and you're chilling. You're ready to fight. And now, what you're thinking about, okay, it's like, where can I get into a good position to where I can deal with these guys should they show up? And if they don't show up, where can I be so that I can fight? In this particular scenario, I honestly would probably have been as close as possible to my team. So maybe right here, or maybe over here. Because that way, if something does pop off, you see them. You're not too far away from the team. So we don't really have any setup, no general thoughts of like where we're gonna fight or why. We're just around. And then you heard them. I don't know if you saw them, but you heard them, and you were like, okay, I got to get in a position to be ready to fight him. The fight isn't him. The fight is a team. So you have to make sure that you're focusing on that. But you see, kind of, you're in like a really weird spot to do anything. So I would like you to set up in a different location. So that way you're able to fight with the team. You still kind of can't see anybody. So you are going to have to be lower. You are going to have to be like maybe somewhere back here. I don't know. You need to be somewhere to where that you could just hit them when they leave. Because you still just aren't part of the fight. Your team is fighting and there's nothing you're doing other than just chilling out. And you think, well, okay, well, I'm just dealing with Spider-Man. That's a good thing. No, it's not. Because even if this guy's not accomplishing anything, he's making sure that you're not accomplishing anything. And I don't know which one you'd rather have, but I would definitely rather have my Phoenix taking shots at the team rather than my Spider-Man in the backline. So he's getting more value than you are, even though he's not doing anything at all. They only overrun you because there wasn't enough pressure from the team.
Turning up the heat.
You're not bad for fighting them. It's not a bad thing. It's just time and place. Time and place for everything. Yes, that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to just be down here already, and when he leaves, you fight that fight. That's what I wanted to see earlier. They wouldn't have even pushed this far if that's what we were doing in the first place. And step on angle, which covers both divers and me. Yeah, you can adjust the divers on the fly, but usually you're not able to adjust to a team fight on the fly. Not as easily. Not as easily. Oh, we're on the Bucky. Okay. Oh, you had to bring out the big toys. All right. My thought process is like clear the dive first, then focus main. Yeah, no. You focus main, then clear the dive, then focus main, then clear the dive. The thing you're missing out on is that these two strats you have aren't sitting ducks. They can play the fight fine. They should be able to handle themselves. It's only not like ignore them. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of the times when a diver goes in on invis or White Fox, they should be able to have the tools to not get KO'd for that first dive. So you don't need to be so attentive. However, if they decide to come in and then they are staying in, well, then you need to be attentive to that because there's two different types of dives. You have the soft dives, which is like, okay, I'm going in, bam, boom, boom, I'm running away, right? Then you have the hard dives, which I'm looking for a KO. Your job as a DPS and tank sometimes is to know when that is a hard dive because that is when you would draw your attention over. You might be like, well, Poppin, how do I know the difference between a hard dive and a soft dive if I'm not the one playing the diver? It does take some getting used to, but every hero that is a diver has a tail. So, Spider-Man, it's where he is, not what he's doing. You know a Spider-Man is going to fully commit if they are in the position where, let me try to draw it. This is just my experience. You know a Spider-Man is going to probably like, hey, look at me, I'm White Fox. Little smiley face. Okay, so you know that if Spider-Man decides to show up and he's at this angle, he's probably looking for a KO because he's set up in a position to get a KO. There is not really a spot that Spider-Man can be other than this because he has to be close enough to land the web shooters and then, you know, connect and do his whole kit and caboodle. However, there's sometimes where Spider-Man players will go in, knock up, swing out. If they're coming from this angle, this does not look like that, does it? So in no world should you even focus on this. You see what I mean? It takes time to get used to that. But it's based off where he is and how he's doing it. When you're dealing with a Black Panther, I mean, that one's pretty much obvious, right? Throws spear, starts dashing, he's committed. You're waiting for him to start dashing. Otherwise, for Magic, that's going to be more so the dash. Once she dashes in, she's committed. She's probably going to teleport and move around and run away and stuff like that. But if you hear the dash, where she's like, charge or whatever, that's she's in. You got to focus that. Otherwise, she's clapping somebody's cheeks. What are some other divers? Iron Fist. Iron Fist is kind of different. So there's, when he's like hitting you on top of your head, that's not really commitment, to be honest with you. It's just weird and funky. He's just trying to get some cooldowns or some baits. But there's also, this one's really weird to talk about because I don't really talk about it that often. I just know because I play against a lot of them. If he's really close to you, like really close to you, and I'm talking about he is smelling your neck. If he is that close, he's committed. He doesn't necessarily have to parry, but he's committed to getting the KO. But if he's just on top and just like moving around, he's probably not committed. He's just fishing. If he parries, he's going to do one or two things. Commit off of the parry, or he's going to run away. So with him, you're trying to force his parry and then get him to really think about, do I want to all in this or not? When the parry's gone, leave him alone because he's not going to fight anymore. He's running away. So once you understand this about all divers, about the ways that they engage and the way that they get their KO and how long it takes for them to get that KO, it becomes very easy to deal with these characters. This is why I personally don't struggle with divers, whether I'm playing DPS or strat, because I just know when I should and shouldn't be afraid of them. As you just seen, right? You're trying to focus on them when they're gone. You're chasing a ghost. Don't do that. It's not your job to fight the diver before the diver dives. It's your job to react to the diver. Don't focus on that. Focus on this. Sit with your strats and focus on that. You see that your tanks are already even part of it, so you don't even need to chill. Yeah, this is what you're doing. Focusing that. You know that there's a spider. You know there's a Black Panther. Just wait. Don't overcommit, though. Chill out. You should never be in front of your tanks, no matter what role you are. I like to see you use cover. I like to see you be like using this ledge as cover. So just like shoot down. What you're doing right now is just standing out in the open. Your whole entire team is doing this, honestly. And this is something that a lot of players do. Just use this ledge as color. Like, even if you're not technically hiding yourself from everybody, using this cover splits that off. So whoever is over here cannot see you. But when you're in the middle, everybody can see you. Why would you not reduce sight lines of certain characters if it doesn't make you not be able to take your shots, you know? You're just being safer, but you're still accomplishing the same goal. Why wouldn't you do that? That's like someone handing you free money and you're like, I don't want it. Like, why? It doesn't make any sense, right? You're also scanning around for the character. Listen for them. I listen to music and I still listen for them. You're still checking. Just wait. I actually don't mind that you're flicking a little bit, but I feel like it's controlling your gameplay. So it's okay. Look, that's what I mean. You see kind of how like you're moving without anything, any knowledge of anything. I don't mind you flicking to check, but like you should not have your gameplay influenced by checking. This right here is fine because there's no fight taking place. So if you're going to chase a diver or try to clear them out, I love it. No, nothing's wrong with it. It's just if there's a fight taking place and you do that, you are leaving your team. This goes for all roles, not just DPS, like all roles. If anyone's chasing a diver, they are effectively not part of the fight. It is okay when the fight is over. The fight's over. You guys already got picks. They're resetting. Go chase. Have a good time. You know, go to a theme park. But if the fight's taking place and you're trying to do that, it's very sketch. Because if you're someone who wants to climb and you're like the best player on your team, and the person diving is taking the best player on the team away, how do you think you're gonna win? Right? You're gambling. You're saying, okay, team, the people that have been stuck here, let me get a coin and flip this bad boy, and we'll see if you guys can handle yourself without me. Why? Why do that? If you feel like you should climb, if you feel like you're the best player in the lobby, you need to be a part of everything. Everything. This means not getting KO'd. This means not chasing things around. Every single fight, you're part of it. Period. There's no other way to go around it. Just because you say, okay, I'm going to get the Spider-Man and I'm making running away. What if the Spider-Man is just as bad as the entire lobby? You're chasing away a fraction of their team, but you're giving away from your team more than half. That is not good value trade. I don't know if your teammates are telling you to get them. I don't know like if they're whining, but let me tell you, don't listen to them. You deal with it when he comes in. Not really much you could have done. Just a regular team fight, and you got caught. If anything, again, you just shouldn't have been there. You were out in the open. But for the most part, you just got caught. Not really a way to outplay getting caught. Okay, this is good. Just stay back. You don't have to commit so hard. Just stay back and shoot the spider. The spider's already here. Shoot the spider. But why? Why though? Like, tell me in your head why this makes sense. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1, 2, why will we not take that fight? Not gonna lie, this is a really cool animation though. But my man is Superman in. The animation team is godlike, bro. Like everything these characters do is sick. I love it. But yeah, tell me, I'm gonna get some water real quick, by the way, because I've been talking without water for a while. But tell me why you think that was a good idea. Even if you're not this player, why do you think that this is a good idea to dive to the backline like that? Like, what do you accomplish? If this is a 5v2, like what's the thought process here? But I'm gonna be right back real quick. All right, I'm back. What rank is this, by the way? That's not like a stab at you or anything. I'm just curious about the general gameplay specifically. Not of yours, but just the lobby. Generally, if I know the rank, I kind of know how the players play, and I know why you do things. GM1. Okay, you did say GM1, didn't you? Or was that someone else? So you're a GM1. And, yeah, this doesn't make any sense. I'm not gonna lie. I can't even sum up. This just doesn't make any sense. You should not be doing this. I understand why you're like looking around for the divers though, because I know in GM players, oh my god, GM players whine so much. It's actually crazy. But I don't really have context to the dive here. Realistically, what's going to happen is you're going to go for this dive and their team's going to be able to make it back and you get KO'd. You're not going to get anything. I don't see you accomplishing much, but I could be wrong. Nothing. Also, you already won the fight. Why are we ulting? Right? So not only was that ult giga far-fetched, you had a 5v2 and we didn't take it. We also were already winning the fight. This is what we call ult economy. So there's a lot of things that, again, I don't really like how the rank ladder is structured because you can get away with climbing without knowing anything. And I'm not saying you don't know this stuff, but in general, players can get to places without learning specific things because of the characters that they play. This is something that I see a lot of players struggle with is ult economy. They do not understand that if my team has more ults than your team, we win most of the time. If we already cleared out the next fight, I mean, if we already cleared out this particular fight, why would we not wait for the ult for the second fight? Your team burned so many ults that time. The only way you win is based off of your gameplay at this point. And if you had ult, you could have wiped that entire next fight yourself. You know what I mean? He gets his ult back really quick, so generally I don't mind using it randomly. That is not a good thought process to be in. It doesn't matter what character you're playing. That is not acceptable. If you want higher ranks, you know what I mean? Not acceptable at all. And that's not to downplay your skill or anything, but I just know that's not acceptable. You should not be randomly doing anything if your goal is to hit Eternity or one above all. Celestial, you can kind of get away with it, not gonna lie. But if your goal is to hit one of those 2 ranks, you're gonna need to be way more thoughtful, especially on DPS. Yeah, you're gonna be needing to be way more thoughtful about how you use it. Even when I played Blade on my Grandmaster 2 Eternity last season, that fool gets his ult at godlike speed, but I don't waste it. I don't waste it. I'd rather you just win the next fight. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Remember we talked about where he should be? If he wants to look for a KO, otherwise you ignore it. Where's Spider-Man at right now? Let's look at him. Does that look like a KO but that's about to happen? You didn't even have to see his swing. But from where he is that a KO that's about to happen? No, not in a million years. He has to get into that position where he's kind of like this. Then he's getting ready. Unless he snatches you. But even then, if he snatches you, then he still manages to get in that position to secure, right? He's not snatching you just for fun and running away. He's snatching you to secure it, which then means you can react. But this fool is giga far away. Even if he lands things, he's just messing with you. Still not looking for it. That's looking for a KO. This is when we fight him. Right? He's in the position we talked about, right? The same exists. Now, I know my artist skills are horrible. You know what I'm saying? I draw stick figures, I do, but the concept still comes along right. That's a position I'm trying to get the KO. He failed at it another time. I'm trying to get the KO. He's in that position. So you react to that. You don't react to anything else. So your team ends up winning that fight. But it wasn't because of you. See? See how much easier it is to KO a diver when you do it when they commit? It's super easy, but you have to let them commit. That was really, really, really well played by you. But imagine how much flicking and chasing you have been doing in this game, how much seconds you've been burning from your team chasing a ghost. Let them commit first, and then just clap the cheeks. Otherwise, let it be. Let him be. I really like that. That was really well played from you. Again, let him commit. Oh my god. Oh my god, you're killing him. You're killing him. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, don't do that. Why are you so crazy? We got 2 picks already. We won. The fight's over. Wait. It's just not necessary. It's just not necessary. It's so unnecessary. What I want you to work on, like ASAP, when the fight is over, revert to this. Right here. Do this. Okay? Every time. What you're doing is you're just like, bro, forget all of that. We're just going to skip everything, and we're going to go from full fight to clean up, to full fight to clean up, to full fight to clean up. If you don't stop, breathe. It's okay. If you do that, your gameplay will skyrocket. That is literally your issue. You are blending all your fights into one, and there is no chill. Stop it. After you guys won, just chill.
Only 60 seconds left.
Because look, you're off the map for 10 seconds, and you have to walk back. At that point is gigafar. So that's like an extra 10 to 15 seconds. That's 25 seconds. How many times did you get KO'd? You got KO'd, did I say 25 seconds? Is that right? Yeah, that's about right. We got KO'd 3 times. You're gone for 75 seconds. That's a minute and some change. Oh, a minute and 15 seconds, but you know. Bro, just in your mind right now, everybody, imagine if you played a game with someone who was AFK for a minute and 15 seconds. Does it seem like you would have a hard time winning that game versus someone who is AFK for maybe about 5? Keep in mind, this is not counting the times you go chase. This is just the time you're not on the map. So if we blend a minute, 15 seconds of you being KO'd with the 5 to 10 seconds you take chasing, when are you actually team fighting, bro? When are you actually team fighting? You don't realize how much you're getting removed from the situation. And I'm not saying you're complaining, but a lot of players do end up complaining about, well, my team is always this, my team is always that. My team sucks, they can't do it. You're never part of the fights, bro. Again, not saying you, I'm just saying in general. You're never part of the fights. So how are you going to say your team is doing stuff when you're not even there? You have to be there. Especially as a DPS, you have to be in every single fight. Every single one. I guess frustrated by long AFKs, it makes the match so difficult to turn back around. Exactly. And that's pretty much what's happening when someone's KO'd or running around. They're not part of the important fights. You might come back and be able to be a part of the tail end of it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can make an impact. But if you're there at the start, you can always make an impact. A flanking Adam? We really doing that? Adam never flanks if you were alive, by the way. And this is not just me putting all the blame on you. That's not what I've said. When I do replay reviews, I'm not going to sugarcoat, but I'm also not going to do some BS and be like, well, if you would have just done that, you would have been able to do this and that. Like, it's pointless. Like, why would you? Not every match is, you know, something you can really do something about. But everything that we highlighted so far was definitely something that's game changing. And as DPS, it makes sense. You guys have the most power to change a game. I bring the hammer down. That was a good ult. I don't really like you over. Not because even if you didn't get KO'd here, I was gonna stop it anyway. I don't like how you overextended. The objective is this. I know you're trying to get them off, but look, if they're way back there because Thor's pushing them back there, can they see Doctor Strange? So what you're doing is kind of counterintuitive. It's not really helping the situation, even though it might feel like it is. I never noticed that's the sound her skin makes. Do we just not hear the sound of the skins? No, that's not true. We hear gambits. Oh, why are we watching her? I just realized, oh wait, that's not the person we're watching. Okay, so I'll say all of what just happened only happened because you decided to go man mode in their backline and get KO'd. That led into a snowball. Anything after that, it does not matter because you decided to ult into their backline for no reason after you guys have already won the fight. In theory, their best player got knocked out and you guys got run over for it. So, as I said before, if you really want something to work on, you're going to have to stop doing that. And you have to think about setup, pre-fight, full fight, cleanup. After the fight's over, stop. Let the next one happen. If you're continuously trying to fight, you will get picked. And that's going to lead into a snowball, especially if you're the best player on your team. My, ooh, squirrel moment.
3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
I guess that is true, Knife Web. That's I did get distracted a little bit by the double support. And then the sound effects. Yes, yes, yes. I just feel like I never hear the song of that skin. I hear Luna. No? Do we hear Luna's? I actually don't know. What? Am I crazy? I know I hear Gambit, but I listen to music, so maybe it's so low that I don't hear it.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
This is a beautiful wall, isn't it? We're swapping, we're swapping. Okay, Phoenix. Because you were gone for so long, someone gets picked. Normal. You really gotta start being a part of these fights, man. Just kind of come up here, off angle a little bit. If you want, even come over here. Basically, your goal is to make them shoot at you, and it splits up their team damage, right? What's better, having the entire team shoot in one direction, or having someone up here or anywhere else making it so that the damage is split? If we do 100 damage here, but we do 50 if you're up there, right? 50 here, 50 there. That's way better. So do your best to try to make sure that you're off angling a lot more, so that way you split that attention. Oh, she plays music when she's invisible? Okay, that's kind of crazy. I noticed that Luna's plays music when she skates, which is also crazy. I was always thinking, like, do supports ever get tired of hearing this music? We overextended. Nothing really crazy. We've been doing that a lot this game. Because you're so close, right, and you're so focused, you don't really notice where all the players are. Zoom yourself out. Give yourself angles. Angles aren't just there to combat. Angles are there to get you a bird's eye view of the entire map. This is why we angle. We could see a lot. We could pick the right characters to fight. Everything is better when you have angles. But if you're just sitting with your team, you only see what's in front of you. Your team only sees what's in front of you. And this is why flankers can exist. And this is why flankers take advantage of the team. Because nobody's looking at anything but what's in front of them. You gotta make sure that you actually are seeing things. A little turbulence. A little turbulence chat. Just a little bit.
I am ready to put on a show.
Again, you don't need to be down here.
A little help.
Look, this guy's just up here for free. Clear this out. Clear all this out. Think of it like you're a SWAT team. As a DPS, you're a SWAT team. Bro, we got to check everywhere. Come up here. Nobody. Nope. Cool. Come up here. Nope. Nope. Cool. Nobody. Oh, I'm going to fly over here. Cool. Nobody's here. This lets your entire team know, even if you're not on comms, you being here lets your entire team know there is no one over here. Right? Even if you're not telling them, if I see my teammate there, I'm going to assume no one's over here ever because my team is occupying this space. But if nobody's there, we don't know. This is why DPS is, I mean, tanks can clear space too, obviously, but the space that they clear is a little bit different than the space that DPS clears. If he can't come over here, he can't play the game. If Spider-Man or anybody other like Magic or anything trying to sit up here, they can't play the game because you're there. You're denying angles by giving your team angles, by giving your team vision. It's kind of just like, I don't know if you ever played League of Legends, but League of Legends is a MOBA and there's bushes. If you're in the bush, you can see what's in the bush. If you leave the bush, nobody can see. You're taking angles in little spots like this, puts the vision in the bush so your team can see everything. Subconsciously, really. If there's no bush there, if nobody's in there, the bush is dark. So if you're not there, we don't know where anybody is. Does that make sense? This is why you shouldn't be on the ground so much. You're also just taking a lot of collateral damage for no reason. Again, like I said, this type of thing is something that the game should have already taught you before you got to where you got to. You said you peaked Celestial 2 or 1, but you can see there's a lot missing from the piece of the puzzle. And this is why getting to Eternity is so difficult, and getting to, or at least getting to mid-Eternity is so difficult, and getting to One Above All is extremely difficult, because everything you need, you have to learn in such a short window of players. And there's a lot of the times where they actually mash the players together. So it's even harder to learn because you don't really have specific breakpoints. It's just have fun, guys. So until the ladder actually starts fixing itself and players that are better start trickling down into the lower ranks, which is kind of what's happening every season, where people are getting stuck in Grandmaster now, or people are getting stuck in Diamond now. Like, as that continues to happen, you're going to start seeing as players climb, they're going to start hitting these, oh, I need to learn how to do this before I get to this rank. I need to learn how to do this before I get to this rank. Right now, it's just kind of like, do whatever you want. As long as you play a busted character, you probably will succeed. Which is why, you know, sitting in main probably works a lot for you when you're playing with Bucky. Because, you know, whatever. And you even said it yourself, why use my Bucky ult randomly? Because I get it pretty quickly. You only get it quickly because you're able to do free damage because everybody stands in main. You know what I mean? You're not getting it quickly because he gets it quickly. You're getting it quickly because people just, they don't play well. And I would always rather have you climb and succeed because you're a better player, not because the enemy team sucks. This flank is super aggressive. I wouldn't have done that. There's no fights taking place right now, so there's nothing for you to accomplish by doing this. Even if you got the KO, look, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening at all. It's the same concept with the Bucky. You're just bleeding all the fights into one. Just stop. I'm telling you right now. That is one of your main weaknesses, is you fight. Just chill out. Let the fight breathe. We're going to have a little practice run. I'm going to tell you when the fight is over, right? I'm going to tell you when we chill out and we just wait for a second. Ooh. Okay, I see you. That was kind of on you. He was there. You just didn't pay attention. But the fight's still not over. Right? We're still fighting. Still fighting. Not over yet. Not over yet. Still not over yet. We're still scrapping. We're doing the thing. We're still scrapping. We're still scrapping. Okay. Now the fight's pretty much over. Why? Because we don't have the numbers and we don't have the resources. So you should not try to do anything. You wait this out. You could probably get a little bit of poke on anybody who overextends, or maybe try to shoot this guy. and maybe you can pull it back. But your goal right here is not to force it to be pulled back. Okay? Do not pop ult. Do not do anything crazy unless you see a clear advantage, because right now you're at a disadvantage. Don't do it. Don't ult. Just play it slow.
I am ready to put on a show.
Okay.
Get that vehicle moving again.
The fight was already over. I mean, in terms of like their advantage, they already had you guys pressed. I loved it. You were fighting. You were good. I would like for you to be a little bit further away. Don't get me wrong, but I really hate that you just ulted. And you said it was with Bucky because he gets his ult faster. No, this is a habit that you have. I only really pick on habits. I don't usually say that, oh, you made this one mistake, that's that. You have a habit of just wasting things. You throw out a lot. You feel like spam, or at least in the way that it looks. I'm not saying what's in your head. Correct me if I'm wrong. But your gameplay says, well, I have the ability to use it, bro. Why wouldn't I? And that's something that you gotta curb. Okay, this game looks pretty much over. Alright. Two things right now that will freaking skyrocket your gameplay. I don't usually say this unless I'm fairly sure that it will happen. One, stop letting fights bleed into each other, okay? The fight is over, stop. Seriously, stop fighting the fight. Just let it be over. The second thing, stop wasting abilities. Stop wasting your regular abilities and stop wasting ultimates. Be more mindful about why to use them and when. Honestly, if you stop fighting every single second, that will easily rectify the second thing that I just said, which is about wasting your abilities, because you won't use them until you're fighting. Those are the two things that I think you should work on. And by golly, if you do, you're going to see results like crazy, because that's the only thing that I notice right now that's really holding you back, because you're not necessarily a horrible player at all, but choosing to fight all the time is leading to really poor decisions, and it's leading to a lot of ability wastes. So, what time is it? I don't want to be dead after my reviews. I think we got through a huge chunk of them today, though. I know that we didn't get a strat one. I mean, we got a little bit of a strat one. We didn't really get a strat one. Oh, thought we lagged. Yeah, I got your points. Yeah, you do that, you'll be cracked, bro. You'll be cracked. Okay. We're gonna call it here. I might stream later. I'm going to eat. I'm going to chill. I might stream later. I just don't want to. I don't know if I want to play, but I don't want to do too many reviews where I definitely don't want to play, and I'm just drained. So I want to leave some for next time. Again, if you guys do want free replay reviews, make sure you put them in my server. If you guys want coaching or anything like that, check the description below. That is going to be how you get it. If you guys want full-blown one-on-one coaching, there's an option for that. If you guys are like, I got it, I'm on the go, I don't have a lot of time to play, I don't have anything like that, I have another option for you guys where I take notes for you guys, I leave timestamps, and when you have time, you can go back and look at those timestamps. Like I said, I might stream tomorrow. I'm not tomorrow, later on tonight. I'm not sure. I have to see how I feel. But let my shade. Look, I didn't even know there was an update. Relax. I am probably gonna play tonight though, but I don't know if I'll be able to stream. I want to stream for you guys though, because I like hanging out with you guys. You guys mean the world to me, and it's always super fun. If I'm gonna play, I might as well stream anyway. But sometimes just having the lights on all the time and scanning and reading, and that's a lot after I do my replay reviews. So we'll see. I probably will though. You guys know me. I stream when I'm exhausted. But we'll see. Thank you guys for watching. You guys have been awesome. And until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you guys for doing what? Hopping often. Well, often. Have a great rest of your day or night. I'll talk to you guys later. Or if I stream later and you guys have to stop by, I'll see you then. I need that luck. Thank you.